Birmingham Groves, Birmingham Seaholm game. I am Michael Spath, a little rusty here after having a pretty bad cold that knocked me out for the last couple of weeks. But thankfully, there is a great team here at SportsCaster and WJR that have been really doing a phenomenal job the last couple of weeks and all season long, including to my right, one of only two people who has been here for 9 weeks. Taryn, thank you so much for making such a commitment.
You're so welcome.
To SportsCaster and WJR. To my far right, Kristin Kujawa, who is going to dazzle us with some something that we're not aware.
I don't know.
And to my left, the great Justin Rose.
Oh, wow, the great. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Thank you. And thank you for stepping up the last few weeks,
Oh,
Justin.
it's been so
Amazing.
much fun. I
Thank
can't
you.
believe it, guys. It is week
9. I know.
Football season just blink of an eye. You're not paying attention. And it's funny because we're looking at these teams' records, and all of a sudden the playoff picture, some teams need a win around the state. 6 wins is the number to get. These two teams both have at least 6 wins. So this one, rivalry game, bragging rights on the line. There's another one this weekend in the state of Michigan if you're paying attention. So this will be a great high school Friday night to kick off the lights for a big weekend of football.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too, I mean, when you look at it, we were talking to a couple of the students beforehand, and just the excitement that builds in the school all week long. And Taryn, I wonder, you could talk about that more because you are a high school student, not at one of these two high schools, but when you had your rivalry matchup, and just like what is the pageantry and the tradition and all those things that are happening in the school leading up to games like this?
So in my school, I go to Troy Athens, and we actually just versed Troy High last week. And so on that Friday, our principal will always say something to the entire school. We will deck out our cafeteria and stuff that'll say "Beat Troy High," and it's a really great environment to be in. And obviously, I was not there at the game last week because I was with you guys at
Yes,
Belleville.
you were. Yes.
But yeah, it's just a really great environment to be in, and I always love it every year.
Well, a couple of things to know about this game tonight. Obviously, it is being broadcast live on WJR. You can also hear it on the WJR app, and you can hear it and listen and watch us on SportsCaster.com. We will have halftime shows, and we will have a post-game show, and we will, maybe be back next week. We're still kind of figuring it all out for the playoffs.
Maybe.
We're not sure where we're going to be. We've been able to know where we're going to be for 9 straight weeks here. But it has been great theater, great fun, and honestly have lucked out with the weather for 9 straight weeks. I don't think I'm Dr. Jason, I don't think we've had a rain.
We have. Well, it's not raining tonight. It's a beautiful night here in Birmingham, Michigan, and I was just saying that earlier. It hasn't even really been that cold either. I mean, it's been a little chilly, but at the same time, I wore 3 jackets today, so I'm prepared.
Just to be prepared
for the first time all season long for this one. But yeah, this game, I mean, I can't believe it. Seaholm, Groves. Groves is undefeated.
I know.
6-2 Seaholm. I mean, these teams have not been this good against each other in some times, and for the first time since 2015, Seaholm or Groves can go undefeated and finish the season a perfect 9-0. So they feel like they're a state contender. And of course, Taryn, what do you think about this game, this matchup between these two teams?
This game is huge, and not just for Seaholm, but I think that the aspect, it's really a big game for Groves because last season, to finish off the season, Groves lost to Seaholm in that Week 9. And then heading into the playoffs, Groves lost to Seaholm again to knock them out. And I talked to Avery Gatch and Noah Sanders on Wednesday, and they said, they're both seniors, and they said that it was a really salty loss, and all they want is just to get back. And so this game's a little bit of a revenge factor.
I was going to say, this is the revenge game.
But
nice.
They're ready for it. I will not see any less.
Saltiness, huh? I know another rivalry that's going to get a little salty on Saturday.
Saturday.
No salt. We're just going to win.
Speaking of that, Taryn, you talked to the young man earlier this week, Avery Gatch, one of the top-ranked prospects in the state of Michigan. Tell us a little bit about him.
So Avery Gatch, he is 6'5", around 290, senior.
Just 6'5", 290.
Little bit,
just 6'5".
And he happens to be committed to the University of Michigan.
He does.
And so I talked to him on Wednesday, and he said that he will be on the sideline for the game. So he's very excited. And he does have Michigan winning. However, I talked to Noah Sanders. He said he's going from Michigan State because his brother plays basketball there.
Okay.
So a little rivalry within the school
I
for who
love
they're
that.
going to be picking.
Well, that's why that rivalry is always great in the state of Michigan, because you have divided homes everywhere you go. It's going to be a great game. That'll also be, of course, on WJR as well. I
Yeah.
talked to some of the guys here who put together the broadcast. They'll be doing that game from Ann Arbor, so
Yeah.
it should be a lot of fun for this one. But
Wait, I want to ask about Noah. Noah Sanders, as in like Barry Sanders'
Yes,
son.
correct.
Yeah,
Yes,
correct.
And he's committed also, I think, somewhere, right?
He's going to the University of Toledo.
University of Toledo.
a Rocket.
Nice.
So
Good
that
for
means
him.
Barry's going to be in the stands somewhere. We're going to have to track him
Well,
down.
we
We'll track
hope.
him down.
You know, we're going to have to
Yeah.
track him down.
Ooh, halftime show.
Just maybe we'll get Barry to come on the halftime
Okay.
show.
Why
Okay.
not?
We'll
Why
throw
not?
an ask out there.
Yeah.
Well,
for
I'm
us
really
here.
curious. You know, these are two programs, rivals. I'm curious what our good friend Kristin was able to dig up
Oh.
for the Who Knew segment.
For Who Knew? Well, I'll tell you, Michael. So, interesting, both Birmingham Seaholm and Birmingham Groves were started in about the 1950s-ish.
Okay.
Seaholm was actually first, and then the area of Birmingham grew so much with so many baby boomers, they needed a second high school. Interesting, though, the name Seaholm and Groves actually comes from two gentlemen, Ernest W. Seaholm, and he was actually the president of the Board of Education, and Wiley E. Groves was also the treasurer, and they decided to gift the school to them with their names, and so therefore Ernest W. Seaholm and Wiley E. Groves, and I don't think there's one student that calls that school Ernest or Wiley. They call them Seaholm and Groves.
I would wonder how many of the students even know that Wiley E. Coyote
Yeah,
is
well, that's true too.
a name that
Yeah.
exists
Yeah.
in the cartoon space.
That is true too. Seaholm and Groves also actually have some noteworthy alumni. Seaholm has Tim Allen. They have Matt Ishbia.
Wow.
Groves has Merrill Davis. They also have
Aw.
Anthony Pittman, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, from the Lions.
Yep.
And that's
Wow.
all I have.
Who knew?
Who knew?
Who knew?
I didn't know
That's
about
fun.
Tim Allen. I certainly didn't know about Tim Allen, and I didn't know that Matt Ishbia was a Seaholm grad. Did you know that?
I
mean,
did
you're a
not know that.
Spartan and-
No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
No, yeah,
That's fun.
that's rather interesting. I will also say I'm going to throw a
Who knew?
who knew
Okay, Michael.
or a stat at
Okay.
you.
Okay.
So if you go down, just a quarter of a mile here to Evergreen, so you're at
Yes.
13 mile in Evergreen, and Seaholm is at 15 in Evergreen, or
Yeah,
actually between
Lincoln, yeah.
14 and a half and so. So I would be curious how many cities have two high schools or more that are as close proximity-wise
Ooh.
as Seaholm and Groves. I'm actually a little curious, like how they pull the students from which parts of Birmingham, because they're so close
There's
together.
got to be a dividing line
Right.
somewhere in between
Yeah.
that 13, 14 mile
Right.
thing you're talking about.
Well, because
So-
I think Birmingham, Birmingham is only 4 square miles or almost
Okay.
5 square miles. It's pretty tiny, but they pull from Birmingham, Bingham Farms, Franklin, Beverly
Okay.
Hills, West Bloomfield, Troy, Southfield, Bloomfield, and Bloomfield Township. So they gather a lot.
Okay, I've got a fun thing for us to do here for just 2 minutes or so. So we already heard from Taryn, Troy Athens and Troy High, the rivals. Kristin, you don't have to tell us what year you graduated.
Okay.
But where did you go to high school?
I went to Vicksburg High School on the west side of the state.
Okay, and who was Vicksburg's big rival?
I would say Vicksburg's big rival was probably Plainwell High School.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you remember anything about the rivalry?
I remember that Friday night football was always a blast. It was always intense. There was lots of red and white because we were the red and white Bulldogs. There was lots of red and white. Not like today, though. We didn't have like theme nights or
Okay,
anything
okay.
like that. But
Okay.
it was fun. It was fun.
Do you think there's less than 5,000 people that lived in Vicksburg?
Oh yeah.
I've never heard of Vicksburg.
I've never heard of it either. Or Plainwell.
So it is the quintessential small town USA,
Okay.
like many of the towns we've been to on our little high school tour here, and it's very quaint, and it was always a good time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Justin,
Yes.
where did you grow up?
I grew up in St. Clair, up in the Thumb, not St. Clair Shores, St. Clair, and
Yes.
our rival was an inter-district rival. So it was one school district,
Oh.
2 schools.
Okay.
So that was Marine City. And Marine
Ah.
City, if you've ever watched any of the high school football playoffs,
I mean, they get to that state championship game a whole heck of a lot, and St. Clair does not.
Okay.
So
Got it.
what was interesting about our rivalry is we were like a Michigan State, and they were like the Michigan. So their football program was super dominant, but they
Right.
couldn't win a lick of basketball because we
Okay.
ran the basketball.
I don't know that's like
So-
Michigan.
Nice.
Well, like back when I was in high school,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll say early 2000s.
Okay, yeah.
That was Michigan State was very much like who cared about basketball at Michigan? It was football, football, football. And who cared about football at Michigan State? It was basketball,
Yeah.
basketball, basketball.
Okay.
What about you?
Very cool. I went to Grosse Pointe North, and Grosse Pointe South was our rival.
That's your rival?
And as Birmingham Groves is coming out on the field here with a lot of excitement and energy, they got the glow sticks up in the crowd.
Gotta love the glow
which is
sticks.
pretty cool. It's interesting that you've got a blackout for the student theme, and the other side you've got like a whiteout,
whiteout,
for
yeah.
Seaholm.
For
So
Seaholm, yeah.
black versus white here in this jersey color combination. Kind of reminds me, and Groves kind of reminds me. It feels like Oregon.
Yeah.
Like they've got like the Oregon look going with
bit
the
of a
green
vibe,
helmet
yep.
and the whole thing.
The little green.
So yeah, I went to North versus South, and in football it was pretty even, honestly. Most years it was like 50-50 who was going to win. My junior year in high school, we went to the state semifinals.
Wow.
Class A, I think it was Class A versus now there's 8 divisions. We were only 4 classes. Obviously Grosse Pointe South the last couple of years. Will Johnson, who's a great player in Michigan, went to Grosse Pointe South. I think they've had the better end of the rivalry the last couple of years. But yeah, I mean we were about 3 miles apart. So there's a lot of, you knew a lot of the kids who went to South. They knew a lot of kids who went to North.
Right.
That's what I love about this is just rivalry week. We don't know. I mean, yes, Groves is the favorite, right, Taryn? And they're the
likely.
favorite to win. I wouldn't say by a lot, but they're supposed to win this game. They're the number 4 team in the state of Michigan. But you never, ever know when it comes to rivalry week.
And last year they were supposed to win that Week 9 matchup.
Yes,
Groves
they
was.
were.
And then Groves was going to obviously get their revenge the next week in the playoffs. And you
Yep.
see how that played out
Yeah.
with Seaholm winning both of those
Both of
games.
them.
So fantastic theater night. Real quick before they kick it off, guys, we should probably make some picks.
Oh.
How about Kristin? We start with you.
I'm going Groves all the way, and I think it's going to be tight. I'll actually say I think it's going to go into overtime.
Oh,
wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Taryn?
I will take Groves. I was going to do 35-14. However, I think that it'll also be close, so I'm going to give Groves the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to make my pick as 35-21 Groves over Seaholm.
Okay.
Okay. I'll go with Seaholm to get the upset, I suppose. I'll make it a 24-21.
Okay.
24-21 Seaholm with the upset. So you're picking Michigan to upset Michigan State then tomorrow too, is that right?
I'm picking the team that's actually the underdog to win that game tomorrow.
Still the underdog, Michigan State. Yeah, I'm going to take Groves also to win this one. And on the call tonight, Chris Renwick of WJR, along with Gabe Roper of Wayne State and Ethan Pavey of Groves High School. We're going to kick it back to them to take us through the opening kickoff here.
At a 60% tariff on all imports from China. Anything in your house that says made in China, take the price that you paid for and add 60%. He plans to add a 20% tariff on all imports coming from every other country. With Kamala Harris's opportunity economy, she's not hitting you with the sales tax of doom. She's providing tax cuts to the middle and working class, so that means you will save an additional $4,000 to $5,000 a year. Plus the $25,000 she's literally handing to new homebuyers. Like, you know who to vote for in this November's election. It's Kamala Harris. Paid for by FFPAC, ffpac.org. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. FFPAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
So right now may be the perfect time for you to rethink how you pay for health care. And here's why. This time of year is decision time for a lot of people. It's also when you can join MediShare and save even more than usual. For many families, joining MediShare means saving about $500 a month, which is a game changer for a lot of people, obviously. But what's more, MediShare members like it a lot. Their satisfaction rate is 98%. Imagine that. And MediShare is a proven thing, too, for over 30 years. It's a Christian community of hundreds of thousands of people now. And here's the thing. If you join before October 30th, you mention the promo code SHARE, they'll waive your application fee, so you save even more right off the bat. I'll give you the number here in a second, but just call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is October 30th, so call now. you'll save even more. Here's the number, 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE, 855-51-BIBLE.
This is the great voice of the Great Lakes, 760 WJR, Detroit, a Cumulus media station. From the heart of America and the high school home game gridiron, this is the Drive to the Game on 760 WJR. Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, here's your hometown football host, Chris Renwick.
Welcome in to a Battle of Birmingham, the last game of the regular season. It is Groves and Seaholm, and we join this one in progress. It was a gain of 11 for Seaholm on their first offensive play. Couple of ensuing plays drive them back, looking at a 3rd and 13 here. They get to the line. Finn Rowland is the quarterback for the Maples. He goes under center. Big 3rd down. Here's a give up the middle. Nope, he's going to keep it around the edge, and he's cut down at the line of scrimmage. Gets 3, but not nearly enough, and the Maples are going to have to punt it away. It is a beautiful night here in Birmingham. Gabe Loper rejoins us, the junior out of Wayne State. It's good to have you back in the booth, my friend.
I am so happy to be here. I have not been this excited for a game probably since I played.
Well, and this is a good one to be excited for. It's a big one. And then joining us here at Groves is Ethan Pavey, a sophomore. It's nice to have you up in the booth.
Thank you guys for having me. I can't wait for this game. Energy's high.
Energy's high. Your team had a big stop there on 3rd and long.
Yeah, we're looking good so far. That defensive line standing true.
So they're going to have to punt it away, and Groves is going to take a timeout here. So just over 9 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Groves taking a timeout after stopping that 3rd and long. So looking at 4th and 10 here, Groves didn't like something that they saw. Tell me a little bit about this Groves team. What is their chemical makeup?
This Groves team, they have a lot of seniors this year, a lot of true leaders. We got a couple of guys going to college, led by Avery Gatch on that offensive line. Number 74, Michigan commit. He's ranked number 2 in the state, right behind Bryce Underwood out of Belleville. He's our central piece, but we have a lot of good guys. Like our running back room is awesome. Our quarterback, everyone behind him is looking good. So.
Yeah, and there will be a notable last name that you'll hear most likely coming up on offense for this Groves team. We'll get to that coming up on the other side. But a big punt here for Seaholm as they couldn't convert on that 3rd and long. Puts a foot on it. High end over end kick. Fielded at the 30-yard line. Breaking one tackle at the 35 and then pushed out of bounds near the 45-yard line. So the Falcons with good starting field position here early on.
Like the look of that run right there. Broke a tackle, got some extra yards.
So out will come Ryan Counts. They've got a quarterback room. They run a tandem. Lavelle Shannon will also get snaps at quarterback for this Groves team. Groves in their all black, very dark green, almost a forest green helmets. Seaholm in their all whites and their maroon lids. So Ryan Counts gets the start at quarterback today. Ball far hash mark, starting this drive. Good field position at their own 45. Counts under center. Takes, gives. Trying that right side. Planting that foot in the ground is Mario Campolavesco. Picking up 9 on the play. That's a big first down gain for this offense that has a ton of power. So it'll be a gain in 9, 2nd and 1 coming up, and the crowd here is amped up for this one.
Yeah, and you like that little run to the right. So Seaholm has all their guys, even their safeties, stacked up pretty much, within 8 yards off the ball. But everybody's kind of grouped up, bunched up. They took the run outside to the right side. There was plenty of room out there with everybody being stacked up in the middle.
So now Counts goes to the shotgun. Tries that hard count. Finally gets the ball, dumps it out. That's Mario Campo Lavesco. Gets the first down shy of the 40-yard line. Pick up 5 on the play out to the 41 for a first down.
He's going to be a big name today.
And also, what is that? Seaholm likes to play a lot of man-to-man coverage, and Evan Peterson, the wide receiver there, actually ran a route instead of blocking, and he took his man downfield with him, so opened that swing pass out to the left wide open, took his man deep.
So first down here for Groves. Ball near hash mark, moving right to left. Counts goes under center. Motions a man to the right side of the formation. 2 receivers out to the right. Gives it to his back, just stumbles forward. It's a gain of a couple. Alejandro Routh, or excuse me.
Noah Sanders.
Noah Sanders there on the carry. Noah Sanders, the son of Barry Sanders.
Yeah, on that run, you want to see a little bit more patience that Barry Sanders showed. You know, and anytime the hole's not there, you can sit back, let it develop, then hit that hole. I do like the head, getting the head down, take what you can get, but be patient, let the holes open up behind this big old line.
So gain of 4 brings up 2nd and 6. 7 minutes left here in the first. Counts under center. And we got a little bit of a jump there by Chris Little. In that slot position. Almost looked like he lost his balance a little bit as he was anticipating the snap count. So that'll move him back. Instead of 2nd and 6, it'll be 2nd and 11.
See how the Seaholm crowd loved that one.
Yeah, the Seaholm faithful showing up on the other side too. So on this side of the stands, the fans quiet while this Falcons offense operates. Counts under center. Quick 5-step drop, throws far side of the field, got a man. Making one man miss. Nick Hardy on the reception. Picks up a chunk of yards, brings up 3rd and 2 for a much more manageable 3rd down.
Yeah, and as I said, these Seaholm defensive backs are going to play a lot of man coverage. So you have to straight man-to-man on the outside, 2 receivers, 2 corners, run a little hitch route, easy pitch and catch.
They go to the I formation. Here's a give. Campo Lavasco picks up 3, enough for a first down, out to the 30-yard line. That's just power football.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see in that situation. Don't overcomplicate things. Use that big offensive line. Use those athletic running backs. Just power forward, new set of downs.
And Avery Gotch, that right tackle, they're running to his side of the thing.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's out there. Can't wait. He's going to Michigan in the fall, so should be a good pickup for the Wolverines over there.
So 1st and 10 from the 30. Counts operates from the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers left. Tight end in motion. Counts takes, gives. Running Campo Laviesco for about 3 to the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and anytime you see that little pre-snap motion where you have that H-back, which we call it, anytime he's motioning to a single side and then he kind of cuts back, we call that a split play in terms of, in terms of the running game. You want to kind of fake that guy because he's usually the blocker. He's usually going to be your lead guy. So you want to kind of fake him going one way, open up like a mystery hole going left. Well, there's 2 yards there, so not super successful, but it's a good concept that I'm sure we're going to see later.
Just over 5 to play here in the first. We're scoreless. Groves looking for points. Counts under center. Takes the snap. Fakes it. Rolls. Throws over the top. Got a man. Inside the 15-yard line, Noah Woods, the tight end, makes the catch. Spot him at the 12 and enough for a first down.
Let me tell you about the art of a good play fake. That was absolutely beautiful. You fake the counter, everybody's moving left. Here come receivers coming across the field. Easy pitch and catch. Like I said, especially when you're in man coverage. You can move those linebackers, move those DBs pretty much wherever you want them. Opens up for big plays on the other side of the field.
And, Ethan, when you've got Campo Lavesco running the way he is, Noah Sanders, they bite hard on those fakes.
For sure. I think it's hard not to bite hard when you have those 2 vicious running backs.
Counts under center, gives. Campo Lavesco cuts it upfield into the end zone. Touchdown,
Boom.
Falcons.
That has to be the fastest stretch play I think I've ever seen. You get the whole offensive line just shifting right. The speed of this offensive line, they're not just big, they're not just powerful, but they do so with speed and intensity. moved the entire line right. Seaholm wasn't even ready for it.
And when Counts was under center, I don't know that I've ever seen a quarterback take that snap and run on the diagonal the way he did. It was a perfectly executed play by Counts, and they score for 6, pending an extra point. Gage Waters for the extra point attempt. Good snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it's good. 4:18 to play here in the first, and the Falcons score first. They're up 7-0.
You love to see it.
So do you spend most of your time down here in the student section, Ethan?
Yeah, the student section gets pretty crazy during these games.
Pretty rowdy, eh?
Yeah, we Groves has been doing pretty good this season, 8-0 so far.
Mm-hmm.
So sitting in that student section with all of your friends really just like gets you in the football mood.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. And by the way, we are joined. It's royalty up here. I didn't realize until we got up here, but Ethan on the homecoming court a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Your Majesty, I welcome you up here.
Thank you. I'm really excited to be here.
You know, it's funny that catch by Noah Woods, he really climbed the ladder. You know what I mean? And it's those plays that matter when you've got a quarterback that can get the ball. When you're able to go up and get it, it helps a lot of things out. You're a basketball player, so you see a lot of those intangibles from guys when they're able to climb up. It makes your quarterback better.
Yeah, for sure. You'll see that a lot from Woods today. He loves doing those 10, 15-yard routes just for the easy dump-off. Counts can always count on him there for an easy catch, easy first down whenever he needs it.
So Gage Waters will put a foot on it here. Falcons up 7-0. Just over 4 minutes to play here into the opening quarter. Beautiful night for high school football, rivalry high school football. Here's a little squib kick, takes a big hop, and then fielded at the 25-yard line. Smart play there by Seaholm. Just get on top of it. Don't let that thing get away from you, and they'll start this drive at their own 25.
And I'll tell you what, if you're on that third line, your eyes light up when you see the ball heading right towards you. Sometimes it's, oh, this is my moment, time to, pick it up and run. But, hey, that's a smart play there, not being selfish. Just take what you can get. Make sure you have possession. The worst thing that can happen is you turn the ball over already down 7 in your own territory.
You can see the rivalry there just by the squib kick, second kickoff of the game, trying to get him, punch him in the teeth right there.
So Patrick Hughes, the signal caller here, he gets under center. He's going to keep it and lose yards. Boy, that front for Groves has been absolutely monstrous here. At all levels, they are collapsing that pocket.
Yeah, they got a lot of big bodies up here. Groves usually likes to play a 3-4, so you have 3 down linemen and then 4 linebackers, but they're bringing everybody up, so it almost looks like a 5 or 6 man front, trying to counter this little wishbone set that Seaholm likes to come out and.
Last year in this matchup, Seaholm just ran the ball, kept shooting, kept trying to get in there in Groves' face. So I think they're trying to take the approach that they're going to do it again.
Hughes back under center. They bunch that formation. Here's a little dump out. Got a man out to the 30-yard line.
Fumble?
Alejandro Routh is the ball catcher, so he'll get out to the 30-yard line, gain a 6 on the play. Makes it a little more manageable here. About 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and last time out, their last drive, they got in the 3rd and long. And anytime you have an offense that runs this wishbone set and likes to run the ball the way they do, 3rd and long, 3rd and 14, which it was last time, that's not what you want. So you want those 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 3s. 3rd and 6 here, just about. Not great, but manageable for sure.
So Hughes back under center. There's the motion man. He's going to keep it, fake the option, try to get upfield. He'll get to the 35-yard line. Boy, he's very close to that first down. They're going to say he got it. He got the 6 that he needed. First down, Seaholm. That's just a gritty run by Patrick Hughes.
Yeah, and, we talked about earlier, while Groves had the football and, the art of a play fake. And that time we saw the fake pitch. I love the fake pitch. You can do that in Madden, by the way, too.
Can you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Completely. It's so broken.
Madden Pro over here.
Yeah, low key. But yeah, no. Saw a little fake pitch there. Cuts it inside, able to get that extra yard.
We were talking, we'll talk a little bit more about Noah Sanders and his destination for college coming up as well. All right, 1st and 10 here for Seaholm. They give it on the sweep. You could just run so many different things out of that wishbone formation. Ralph once again on the reception, gain of 8 on the play.
It is so simple yet so versatile and so hard to stop. That time, Groves had 7 guys on the line of scrimmage. The safety's not playing more than 6 yards off the ball. But because this is such a versatile set, you don't know what's coming. You can stop the run, but you don't know where and which way the run is coming. That time we saw a little counter sweep play. Has everybody moving left. Here comes the run right.
So 2nd and short, 2nd and 2. $1:20 to play. Here in the first quarter, Hughes is going to get sacked.
Loss of 2. Oh, slow to get up.
Carter Hidlaki is the one to make the stop there for the Falcons.
He's had a great game so far. I think he got that sack earlier in the possession.
Yep, so this is going to be a loss of 1, so it's going to be 3rd and 3.
Still very manageable situation here if you're Seaholm. You know, you don't need to chuck the ball deep. Obviously, that's not what this team does. But 3rd and 3, that is your ideal situation. That's your ideal down and distance. March that ball down the field using all 3 downs.
So Roth goes out. They bring in Conrad Swanson, one of their slot receivers. Hughes takes. Now on the option play, makes a man miss, but not enough for a first down. Well read there. Riley Armbrussmacher makes the stop, and it's 4th down.
And yeah, I'll tell you what, if you want to play in this rivalry with the way that both of these teams like to run the football, everybody on the defensive side has to be able to tackle. Usually, DBs are the guys that are afraid of contact. I say that lightly. DBs don't get mad at me, but that is a great open field tackle there. If he doesn't make that tackle, he might still be running.
Groves on top 7-0. It's the end of the first. We'll take a break. It's our drive to the game coverage right here on WJR.
This is SportsCaster.com. Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
Ready?
Want to be the next great voice? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone! Touchdown Detroit Lions! Oh my!
Create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen?
You believe in miracles? Yes!
Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard.
Once again, versatility, the word of the night for Anthony Battani.
SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
It's going down tonight, yeah.
Sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back. Second quarter action. Battle of Birmingham, Seaholm and Groves doing battle tonight. It's a big 4th down. 4th and 3, Seaholm going for it. Ball at their own 44-yard line. Hughes goes under center. Play clock down to 7. They got to get the play off. Hughes does. He's going to keep it, fall forward for a first down. Boy, that is just a big play. Just a quick keeper on the right side of the line. Found enough room for a first down.
Yeah, that's a body weight first down. That's just one where you
falling
get to
forward.
Falling forward. You know, no need to make any, crazy cool cuts or anything else. Just get what you need, reset the chains.
So they'll get their call from the sideline. They don't huddle. They go right to the line. 1st and 10 here for the Maples. Under center. Hughes takes, fakes. Now the option pitch. Nothing doing there. Snowed under. Boy, you can credit Teddy Abbott on that play. He was in there in a hurry. The free safety, Casey Goetz, the carrier there, the pitch recipient. He'll lose one, bring up 2nd and 11. And that's just a swarming defense.
Yeah, trying to take it to the right side there. I can't see who's over there, but they just can't get anything to go on the outsides right now.
So 2nd and 11. They'll huddle back at their own 40-yard line. Ball at their 46. Maples looking to even the score up. They're down 7-0. Hughes takes, trying to pitch it, and he snowed under. Wyatt Shortridge is there, the middle linebacker, to make that play for a loss of 2 back to the 45-yard line, so it brings up 3rd and 13.
Yeah, and the way that Groves prepares for these kind of games, the way in which you prepare for an offense like this is that you designate a position to another position. So that way the pitch man, the quarterback, the running back, all those guys are accounted for. And no matter what, if you get a fake, you are going to get hit.
3rd and 13. Hughes goes under center. Takes. 5-step drop. Wants to try to set up that little pitch out almost like a screen, but it falls incomplete.
He's down.
It's going to be 4th down, and Hughes is hurt. Dominic Taylor, the disruptor on that defensive end for the Falcons, and Hughes able to get up and walk things off. But he got hit hard.
Yeah, and those screen plays are just so risky because, I mean, pretty much as a quarterback, you know, when that screen is called, you kind of swallow, you kind of gulp a little bit because you know you're going to have some big guys coming down at you hard. And that time, he got drilled. Free rusher.
And those screen plays are so difficult because so many different things have to go right. It's a timing play. You got to make sure you're released from your blocks at the right time. You got to make sure you get open. And if you're not open in that time, generally, like you said, big guys are coming at you. So they'll punt this one away. It's going to take a Seaholm hop, couple of Seaholm hops, and then squirt out of bounds at about the 21-yard line. So that's where Groves will take things over. But for a team that's had a tremendous amount of success this year, last home game of the year against a rival, this Groves team has come out very composed here early on.
Yeah, the energy in school has been booming through. Even just walking through the halls, you can feel that it's rivalry week. Everyone's super excited, the players especially. This means a lot to them coming off of 2 losses last year, one in the postseason, one in the regular season. Both really close games. Final score of the postseason was 49-56, so they were right there, but couldn't come through. So it's a big game for them here.
So 1st and 10 for Groves from their own 21, up 7-0. Second quarter action. They're going to give it. That's Noah Sanders. Couple of nifty cuts out to the 35-yard line. Still on his feet to the 50. Pushing his own men inside Seaholm territory for a big gain for Noah Sanders. Whoop! Where have we seen that before?
He had to run through a couple guys, maybe some of his own, but he got there in the end. That was an awesome run by Noah right there.
Pick up a 32 out to the 48 of Seaholm.
And you'll have to see the offensive linemen and everybody blocking down the field. That's where you can feel the ground shaking up here, the stand shaking with those big offensive linemen roaming down the field to make a block.
So Counts goes under center. One receiver right, one left. Ball far hash mark, moving left to right. Counts takes, fakes. Got to avoid one tackler. Pointing down the field, directing traffic. Lofts this one up. Incomplete. Wow, no flag on the play. There was some coverage. Counts threw it a little behind Nick Hardy. And as a result, he had to readjust, and Rocco Culpa was there. Looked like a little bit of early contact, but the referees elect to keep the flag in the pocket.
Looks like Counts was shooken up on the play there, but he's back out there looking all right.
So ball falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 now. from the Seaholm 48. Under 9 to play here in the first half. Groves up 7-0. Counts goes under center. Takes, gives. Sanders trying the right side. And then forced out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. So good pickup of 8 there, looking at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Yeah, gotta love these little stretch plays, these outside zone concepts, letting those offensive lines stretch the play out, make holes. I mean, it's like when you stretch cheese. When you stretch cheese, holes are bound to happen. And when those holes do happen, it's the job of the running back to see those holes, see them, hit them for big gains.
Noah Sanders destined for Toledo after his high school days are over. Counts under center, and we got a flag on the play. We got pointing on both sides. I think this is going to go against Seaholm, and it is. So free 5 yards and a free first down here for Groves. Now, you were saying that in the new NCAA game, how many times did you take Toledo to the national title?
4 national championships.
Wow. Was it consecutive?
No.
Back to back to back to back?
No, we lost to Colorado in the Big 12 championship.
Coach Prime.
Yeah, but it's all good because we went right back and beat Oregon in the national championship.
How about that?
Oh, yeah.
MAC representing.
Big 12. We moved them.
There are no footprints anymore. Here's a double reverse. Back to Counts. Who wants to take a shot? Got his tight end wide open at the goal line. Into the end zone.
Boom.
Touchdown.
That was a beautiful play right there.
Noah Woods.
And I'll tell you what, we were just talking about college football 25. That is a college football 25 type of play right there. You get everybody moving right, everybody moves left. Oh, pitch back to the quarterback. Now you have 3 options downfield. All the quarterback does or has to do in that situation, just pick one. Found this guy, floated it up there. Plenty of time for the receiver to spot it, bring it down in the end zone. Touchdown, Groves.
Couple of haymakers there by this Groves team here in the first half. Trying to add an extra point on to make it 14. Gage Waters on to put a foot on it. Good snap, good hold, kicks up. That one goes through the uprights. And just like that, the Falcons take a 14-point lead with 7:42 to play here in this one. You were talking about what it was like in school this week. What is that vibe when you've got this rivalry game and you've got a couple of big-time players on this offense? What was the talk in the hallways this week?
Everyone, we've had a great season so far. Like I said earlier, 8-0. Just like everyone's just waiting for the Friday night lights. We're all just bouncing in class, waiting in 6th hour, watching the time tick down, especially for the Seaholm game. There's been a lot of big games. If it's football, basketball, volleyball, just like a lot. Like whenever we play Seaholm, everyone's just amped. We're just like ready to get out of school just to like see the game.
That's right.
So, nonetheless, again today.
Can we confirm that teachers don't schedule tests on days like
I
today?
had a test 6th hour
Oh
today.
my goodness.
Shame.
Oh my goodness.
I got to ask, though, now you guys have lost the last 2 matchups.
2, yep.
Is this a game that you expect to win, though?
Yes, Seaholm lost their quarterback from last year, who was a big part of their offense. And so our younger guys also got older. Like our senior class right now, they were juniors last year. They were still kind of new to the offense. So now that they're they have the year under their belt playing Seaholm. This is their 3rd time playing Seaholm. They're ready to take it at them.
All right, Waters to kick it off. Just a little squib kick. That one fielded at the 20-yard line, trying the right side to get to the 25-yard line, running out of real estate. What were rivalry games like for you?
Man, especially as a player, it's one of those things where you're thinking about it all week. As soon as the game before rivalry week ends, it's rivalry week.
Yeah,
Focus shifts immediately. You go home, you watch the film. A little bit of the film from the previous week, but you're only watching the film on your rivals, and then you start taking to social media.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I love it, though. I love it. 7:38
to play here in the first half. Seaholm looking for points. We got a little movement on the line. False start here on the Maples, so that'll move them back 1st and 15.
Rivalry week also means so much to these players. I have a player in one of my classes that he sprained his ankle on Tuesday, and he's already back playing in this game. So it's pretty crazy what these guys would do just for a game.
Yeah, injuries are non-existent on rivalry week. Doesn't matter what happens. You don't tell the training staff. You don't tell coach. Just ice it when you get home.
All right, so Patrick Hughes back out there. Good to see him back out. Takes the snap, gives it up the middle. Gain of 8 on the play out to the 28-yard line. That's just a good run up the middle. Penn Roberts on the carry.
Yeah, but even that just goes to show the impact of penalties, where if you have an 8-yard penalty on 1st and 10, now you're set up with 2nd and 2. Playbook's wide open. But instead, 5-yard penalty, now it's still 2nd and long.
Seaholm looking for points here midway through the 2nd quarter. Haven't gotten on the board yet. Now Finn Rowland in the game. He gives, going to lose yards. Loss of 3 back to the 25-yard line. That's the initial line of scrimmage. So now they're looking at a 3rd and long here. Another slow player to get up for the Maples.
The first guy of the line got there, and then the rest followed. I think there was 2 people who weren't in on that tackle on the defense. Just got completely, looked like he hit a wall.
So that's Penn Roberts, the running back. He'll get a spell here. So Finn Rowland checks in the game at quarterback. Sends one receiver out to the right, single coverage. Goes under center. Here's an option play out to the right. Conrad Swanson gets it out to the 26-yard line. Not enough for a first down. Maple's going to have to punt it away.
But yeah, back to a point that I mentioned earlier where, in terms of preparation and preparing for an offense like this, like I said, so usually your safeties, you're going to bring them forward. Those are going to be the guys that are responsible for the pitch man. No matter what, they're always going to go for the pitch man. Your linebackers are usually going for that first option with the running back, fill that hole right there, and then you'll have someone assigned to the quarterback as well. Like I said, making sure on those option plays that everybody's accounted for and that somebody gets hit no matter what.
They don't have a punter.
They don't have a punter yet. The blockers are up there. Play clock's down to 3. He finally gets to the field. And he just gets the snap off. Ooh, Groves almost blocked that one. That's a good punt. Sends him all the way back inside the 40 to the 35-yard line, the 34-yard line. That is a heck of a punt.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen a scramble drill out of a punter. That's got to be a first for me. But well-executed punt, got the snap off in time, barely got the punt off too, but sets your defense up a lot better than it would have been with a delay of game.
The punter's probably hearing about it right now.
Well, yeah, Wesley Billings late to the formation, but flips the field as now Grove starts at their own 34-yard line. So right back to it for Ryan Counts and company. Under center. Takes the snap. Gives it, trying the left side, just pushing people forward. Campo Lavasco picks up a couple of yards, a few yards, 3 yards, out across the 35 to the 32-yard line. And you expect them to run towards the right side of that formation because of Avery Gotch, but they mix things up. They'll go to the left side too.
Yeah, Avery Gotch is always just like everyone's giving him the attention on the defense. Sometimes you got to bring it to him if they're not expecting it, or if they're not expecting it, take it to the left or just right up the middle.
So 2nd and 7 here. Counts takes, wants to throw, hits as he throws. And that one falls incomplete. Late flag on the play. Sean McGillen was applying the pressure. So the officiating crew huddles at about the 37. We'll get a call here. Looks like Groves is moving backwards. Still no sign from the official. It's a personal foul here on Groves, so that'll move him back. So that'll move him back, and it'll be a long second down play here. Excuse me, it'll be third down, 3rd and 22, as they spot it at the 22-yard line. They could just run that reverse again, find Noah Woods, it's there.
I honestly would not be upset at that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it,
And now we get a Groves timeout, and they want to talk things over. So 4:23 to play here in the first half. Groves up 14-0. Looking at a long third down, 3rd and 22. And I think from a play calling perspective, right? You're up 14, couple of minutes here before halftime. Don't want to get too crazy. It's 3rd and 22. Put yourself in a position to maybe flip the field. The defense has been playing really well. I don't know that you really necessarily have to force anything here.
Yeah, I think you run it, get some time off the clock, so Seaholm can't really bring the ball, doesn't have that comfort of those seconds, those precious seconds, bringing the ball down the field. They have all 3 timeouts. Still 4 minutes, 4.5 minutes to go in the half, so they have a lot of time, but I think you try to chew up as much as you can.
Now let's hypothetically here, Gabe, say that Groves run something relatively conservative, maybe forces Seaholm to make a decision on whether or not to call a timeout. But either way, they've got a couple in their pocket and still plenty of time left on the field to cash in here before the half.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. And the biggest thing is you have to be thinking points. So, don't allow the big play here. Be safe, be conservative, even on defense, penalties or anything like that. Get the ball back. You're not forced to call timeout right away. There's still plenty of time left. But regardless, you're only down 14. Can't panic. You don't want to force the ball. You don't want to force anything at all. Take what you can get. Score some points by the end of the half.
Seaholm started this thing on offense, so Groves will get the kickoff to start the second half. Counts goes to the shotgun. Airs it out. Wow, that is a heck of a throw out to the 35-yard line. Nick Hardy makes the catch, dropped it into a bucket. Not nearly enough for a first down, but a heck of a throw by Ryan Counts.
Yeah, and that time, Seaholm's been playing man coverage all day, but when it's 3rd and long, they sit back in their zone. They're going to keep everything in front of them. It's a simple cover 4 concept, so nothing over the top, but you will have those hard, flat defenders, those corners that are going to be playing on the outside. You can fit it in behind them. He did it, obviously not for a first down, but a very nice pitch and catch.
And actually ran out of bounds, so that stops the clock at 4:17. So Seaholm going to have a ton of time here to try to put some points on the board before the half. End over end kick, going to take a Groves bounce and then field it at the 20-yard line. It's just good coverage downfield. Aiden Lung makes the stop on that special teams play, and things will start here for Seaholm at their own 20. 4:08 to play here in the half.
Aiden Leung on that tackle right there. He's a great guy. Tore his ACL last season, got back, fought back. Now he's playing, just had that huge punt stop right there.
And I'll tell you what, that's a special teams player of the week. Hard hat type play. You love those. Don't hit him too early. Let him touch the ball. Wrap him up.
So Finn Rowland back under center here for Seaholm. 4:08 to play here in the half. They need points. Under center takes. Here's the pitch. Got some room out to the right side. That's a good tackle. Shoestring tackle there. Casey Goats on the pitch reception. Taken down by Teddy Abbott, the free safety. You talked about the safety generally is responsible for the pitch man, and he made good on it there.
He made good on it there. And, you have the other safety who had the other pitch man. That time, there was the low motion kind of threw him off a little bit, allowed for that extra running room on the right side.
Second down and 3. 3:30 to play here in the half. They're going to give it up the middle, cuts it over to the right side. Enough for a first down. Penn Roberts, the ball carrier there for the Maples, and it'll be a fresh set at their own 35. 3:17. Clock continues to run. Maples with 3 timeouts. Rowland takes, gives, why not? Penn Roberts again. Picks up 5 out to the 40. 3:04 to play here in the half. Maples down 14-0.
Yeah, this team doesn't care what the score is. Just good old-fashioned, hard-nosed Seaholm football. That's what you like to see. Even down 14-0, still staying within their identity, knowing the play clock, knowing the game situation, but doing what they do and doing it well.
Rowland under center. Takes, gives. That's Penn Roberts again. Gain of 3 out to the 43-yard line. So that brings up 3rd and 2. Maybe call that a long, well, we'll call it 3, so gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
You can see how both games went last season. Just keep running and running and running. It got to Groves at the end because Seaholm both won both of those matches. But still, like, that's their offense right there.
Big 3rd down. Rowland takes, gives, nothing doing there. Taken down by that defensive front. Dominic Taylor making the stop from his defensive end position, just collapsing that pocket. And it's 4th down, no gain on the play, so 4th and 3. Seaholm looks like they're keeping the offense out on their side of the 45-yard line.
Yeah, I don't know about this decision. Your defense has been playing well, but they are on the back foot. I definitely would punt here, but if they get it, I'm wrong.
$1:30 to play in the first half. Rowland takes, gives, Roberts stretching. I think he got it out to the 45-yard line.
I was wrong.
Picks up the 3.
I was wrong. Hey, I'll take it. You know, hey, that's why I like to see those, especially in rivalry games. Trust your guys.
Yeah.
Just let them push forward, get the first down. Doesn't matter what the time on the clock is. Doesn't matter the down and distance. I trust my guys, even in a rivalry game, down 14. Doesn't matter. Let's go get this first down and move the chains.
You don't need 16. You don't need 37. You don't need 40. You need 3. They got the 3. Rowland under center takes, fakes, wants to throw. Got a man streaking across the formation at the 40. Flag thrown at the 30-yard line. Flag's thrown back at the 40.
Yeah, we're going to get an offensive pass interference call there. That ball would have been intercepted, but it's like a little pick play. You have an out on one side and a go, but the receiver didn't really run the go. He just ran a block. Otherwise, it would have been legal, but this one's going to come back.
So the flag will Aiden French. He was the pick man there. Ethan, you've thrown a pick or two, right? On the hardwood?
No, I'm not. My coach always yells at me if I try to make that long pass. Sometimes I can sneak it in, but
fair enough.
If I throw that, he knows I know I'm getting taken out of the game right then and there.
So the big play gets nullified. That'll back them up. And they spot it. They'll spot it near the 30-yard line. That's exactly where they'll put it, right at the 30-yard line. So now a bit of a hole after a big gain brings up 1st and 25. Clock rolls with 45 seconds left here. Now I think the offensive strategy here for Seaholm changes dramatically. Rowland under center takes, gives with a hole on that right side. Penn Roberts on the carry. Gets to the 35 to the 38-yard line before he's ridden down. And that clock's going to just continue to run. 20 seconds left here in the first half. And they don't need to run another play. I'm not sure that they will.
Yeah, there's being aggressive and there's being smart. So, I mean, they were aggressive on that earlier 4th down call, but that offensive pass interference was kind of a drive killer. And you know what? Take it into the half. Play defense coming out of the half. Go back into the locker room. Adjust. Do what you got to do. Come out swinging in the second half.
Still very much in this game. Groves leads Seaholm 14-0 after 2 quarters. We'll take a break. It's our drive to the coverage game here on WJR.
Chilly mornings, cooler days are here, but you can warm up with some hot values during.
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us, up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, a SportsCaster original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity. It makes me smile. Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is. Okay, now you're getting me excited. I am, because now we can post our podcast. Sure. We can post little clips. Of course. We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it as well, giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of, and now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for, SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
My name's Cody Stedman. I'm from Saline High School, and we brought
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us, up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, a SportsCaster original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity. It makes me smile. Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is. Okay, now you're getting me excited. I am, because now we can post our podcast. Sure. We can post little clips. Of course. We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love it as well, giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of, and now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for, SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
My name's Cody Stedman. I'm from Saline High School, and I'm broadcasting for the Saline team for WJR.
Think Ford first. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Now, for hometown halftime coverage, here's Chris Renwick.
All right, welcome back. Halftime here at Grove Seaholm. We got a good second half coming up for you in just a couple of minutes. But there are a lot of groups that are doing some really incredible things for the city of Detroit, particularly on the sports landscape. But when it comes to what we are seeing out of high school athletics here in the state of Michigan, particularly when it comes to high school football, Deet Sports and Entertainment is right in the middle of it all, and they have a very good perspective on these teams, where they're at in the pecking order among some of the elite programs in the state. And with their help, we've been able to bring you a pretty incredible slate of high school games throughout this season. I want to bring in Rick Christ. He's the Senior Vice President with Deet Sports and Entertainment, and joins me here at halftime. Rick, it's good to have you.
Oh, great to be with you, Chris.
Take me back to your days in high school. What do you remember about those Friday nights under the lights?
It was all you thought about, and was fortunate enough to compete, and had a father who coached, and it seemed like there wasn't anything bigger. So, even with all the changes in sort of how sports at all levels have escalated, I think, that sort of grassroots feel, Chris, to what it means to young people is still there.
Yeah, and certainly I think the talent level here in the state of Michigan has just come up in such a big way. We've seen some of the biggest recruits in the country coming from the state of Michigan over the last decade or so. Bryce Underwood, the number one recruit in the country for Belleville here in the state of Michigan. What has changed in the high school landscape, do you think, over the last number of years?
My sense is that, there's always been great talent. My sense is the visibility's grown, and probably with it, the opportunities to develop and to get exposed. So, Detroit has, the Detroit region in particular has had a great history of athletic talent and football talent. I think, in terms of cities, one or two in terms of NFL players right now. And that sort of feeds on itself too, right? And so I think it is a really tremendous window right now for high school sports, high school football, and really the platforms and WJR in particular. What great exposure for these programs and for these kids.
There are so many hands in the pot when it comes to elevating the city of Detroit or elevating this Southeast Michigan region. And you guys have done a wonderful job in helping bring some of the biggest events at every level to our area, whether it's pro events or here at the high school level with high school football. What drives Deet Sports and Entertainment to want to bring some of these things to people here in our area?
It's personal, for sure, and personal, I think, in all the best ways. It starts with Mike Dietz, the founder of the company, and tremendous family, and Mike's lifelong commitment to the city and to the region and all the relationships. There's no better relationship person than Mike, and that's the culture of the company. Howard Krugel, Key, David Prout, and others. So it's personal. The relationships have sustained over decades, and I think also to be flexible too as the environment changes. It's not that you roll with it, but you don't get stubborn about having to have things a certain way. So whether it's with the summer programs that Deet Sports gets involved with, on the basketball side, Michigan Elite, Tim McCormick, or the partnerships with the Sports Commission and Dave Beechnell and Marty Dobek at the Sports Commission. So much is happening now through the Sports Commission and in collaboration with all the major events in the community. So we're thrilled to be a part of it, whether it's in the passenger seat or sometimes at the steering wheel, and just love seeing what's happening in the region today.
What else are you guys working on now? Anything that you can shine a light on?
I think absolutely the next 5 to 7 year horizon, Chris, for the Sports Commission and those major events. The 2027 men's Final Four is on the books. We've got Big Ten women coming. We've got just recently awarded another NCAA regional on the men's side. The USGA relationship out at Oakland Hills, which launched with the Junior Am this past year at Tigers Boy and that. It's just, there's a window here that is so exciting in terms of the major sports events. And having said all that, the pro teams continue to be foundational. To see the energy from the Lions, the great run by the Tigers, optimism around the Red Wings, and sort of new leadership there on the basketball side with the Pistons, and it's a great time to be a sports fan in Detroit and in the Tri-County region for sure.
Pops never made you run gassers, did he?
All the time. Actually, you'll laugh at this, Chris. The worst thing that could be said in the Chris household was, "You're just not coachable."
And that was never said to you, Rick. It was never said to you. Rick Christ with Deet Sports and Entertainment. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate your time.
Thanks so much, Chris.
One more reason to...
So what we're doing with SportsCaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, the Michigan-Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do, and it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Find a way to get on that SportsCaster.com, get on that high school broadcast, and when you do, tape it so that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits.
Yep.
This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with SportsCaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way, and do it, and then tape it, and then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week; you're 10 weeks in a row, and that's how you do it. It's hard. It doesn't pay a lot of money, but if you're really committed and you really want to do it, hopefully, there's nothing more rewarding. There's one of those things I tell people. I said, if you have a job you love, you don't work a day in your life. Yeah. Well, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what being a sports broadcaster, especially in play-by-play, I was very, very lucky to do that. But it starts out hard, but once you get there, it's very rewarding.
Well, Michael Spath is here. I am joined.
For once.
Yeah, I'm joined for once. Come on, man. I've been sick the last couple of weeks. Joined by Justin Rose and Taryn Fritching to talk about this one. 14-0 at the half. It seems like Groves is in greater control than they are. Mm-hmm. They've just got 14 points, so they only have 3 possessions. Seaholm has been able to occupy the football using their triple option offense. And so that's obviously kept Groves out of the end zone consistently. But Taryn, Justin, early impressions from this one at the half.
Taryn, go ahead.
I would say that it's been pretty rough for Seaholm. I think that the Groves defense has just really put a halt to their entire offense, and they're looking at what to do differently in the second half, and we'll see if that ends up happening, but I don't think that Seaholm was prepared physically for how this Groves defense was going to come out.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. If you're watching it, and we're watching it from the sidelines, Groves has been the much more physical team. You can feel them when they're hitting guys a little bit more. They almost feel like they're punking Seaholm a little bit.
Does it feel at all that they lost 2 straight to end their season last year in the regular season and then in the first round of the playoffs? Does that feel like what? Yeah, it's been very physical. One thing, Seaholm being on their sideline for much of the first half is where I was kind of hanging out, getting some of the highlights for our social channels here at SportsCaster.com. But Patrick Hughes, the junior quarterback, got hit going to the ground, and he has been taken out of the game. I don't have an official diagnosis, but his helmet was taken away from him, which signifies to me that he has looked at for a concussion. So now that limits what they can do offensively so much more, because they're turning to a sophomore quarterback in Brody Gable, I believe is the name of the young man. So they obviously had a nice throw right towards the end of the second quarter there. Got called back for an offensive pass interference, and then they decided, well, we're just going to eat the clock. They're going to try to do that. The coaching on the Seaholm side has been, we're only 1 score out of making this a football game.
Yeah.
And they know that if they're going to be able to get back into this game, they're going to have to do it real quick, because obviously we saw that great play, the trickeration from Groves.
Well, Groves can score quickly, right? Between Noah Sanders, Noah Woods, their tight end, who we're going to have to learn a lot more about. I don't know if he's a Division I prospect yet, but if he's not, he's going to be on somebody's radar here pretty quickly. Obviously, they're running a lot behind Avery Gatch, the Michigan commitment. But, one of the things that I thought that Seaholm found in that last drive or second to last drive was more of the halfback dive, as opposed to the quarterback keeping it and then trying to pitch it out. A lot more of the inside runs, and see if they go back to that in the second half here. But right now, Taryn, I think this is Groves' game. If Groves doesn't have turnovers, I see it's not a great path for Seaholm to overtake them unless they have a broken play, busted play, and they go for like a 40 or 50-yard run.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And it's just, Seaholm has, and I mentioned this last week, and I'm going to say this again because it also applies to how Seaholm's offense is run. They're running it slow, and maybe in the first quarter, the first half, you have time to do it, but you have 2 quarters left. You have to step it up. You have to make plays. You have to get down the field, and that really should be Seaholm's focus for this second half.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they can take them. I think they took the Groves team by surprise with that pass at the end of that half. You know, they got called for offensive pass interference because guy blocking downfield before the ball was completed. But maybe they can take them by surprise a little bit. I don't think that's their game.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to all of a sudden come out and throw the ball and throw the ball and throw the ball. They're going to have to hope that, hey, we get a stop on this first series and then we come down and methodically move the football and make this a 14-7 game. Because here's the thing, is if they can score, they'll put the pressure on Groves.
Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll send it back up to Chris Renwith in the book right after this.
Cooper, sometimes for, people like us up-and-coming broadcasters, we have our podcast coming up, Cooper and Carter, a SportsCaster original. There might not be places for us to post, but now we just have this opportunity.
It makes me smile.
Now we have SportsCaster, and oh, what a lovely place it is.
Okay, now you're getting me excited.
I am, because now we can post our podcast. We can post little clips.
Of course.
We can voice over, professional plays going on in the sports world. We can connect with people like Detroit Lions play-by-play Dan Miller. I mean, the opportunities are just endless, and I absolutely love it.
I absolutely love it as well, giving us an opportunity and experience that we only could have dreamed of, and now SportsCaster is giving it to us on a silver platter. That's what it does, and that's what it's here for. SportsCaster. We put the mic in your hands.
My name's Cody Stedman. I'm from Saline High School. I'm going to be broadcasting for the Saline team for WJR. I never really thought that sportscasting would be my thing. I was really going towards radio journalism and broadcast journalism. But hey, if this is on the road to it, might as well hit it.
The give, Rush cuts it upfield into the end zone. Touchdown, Saline. That's the magic I was just talking about.
The coolest thing about being with SportsCasters.com is that you get to know what the fans are talking about. You get to research what the team is thinking about even before the game starts. And being at the game, being able to report about the plays and knowing what the team is feeling like before you go into the game, it's a real big moment to
You're getting the only high school football game coverage in Southeast Michigan you need. The Drive to the Game, sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
Welcome back to Birmingham, where Groves has a 14-0 lead over Seaholm in this final game of the regular season, and we bring you a good one here. It's rivalry week in Birmingham. Gabe Loper from Wayne State rejoins me. Ethan Pavey here, a sophomore at Groves. I want to take just a quick look from a Seaholm perspective. Down 14-0, still very much in this game. Got 2 quarters of football left. What is the game plan here for Seaholm, do you think, Gabe?
The game plan is to play smart football. The end of the half was great. They ran the ball well. They did exactly what they came here and wanted to do. Now it's all about executing and taking that extra step, being a little bit more aggressive, but still playing smart. You're only down 14, but at the same time, a little bit of sense of urgency. Score some points, get back in this game.
Ethan, they're going to get the ball here. The Falcons are here to start the second half. Get those points. Right?
Yeah.
Put a couple of first downs together and score here, and that would make Seaholm very uncomfortable for the rest of this game.
Yeah, definitely, but make sure you just secure the ball each run. Make sure you're holding on to it very tight, just so nothing goes haywire.
No doubt about it.
And you don't want Seaholm in that good field position.
Ball protection, very important here. Seaholm kicks this one off. Sky-high kick called for a catch at the 26-yard line. So that's where the Falcons will take things over.
Yep, that's exactly what I was talking about with smart but aggressive football. You have the sky kick, so it's not like an onside kick, but it's one of those high-risk plays if you're the return team where, you get a drop ball, you get players running into each other, especially on the high school
level. Those guys
level.
that are in that position, that up position, they're not necessarily used to touching that ball on those kickoffs.
No. So it's one of those things, low risk, high reward.
All right, Grove starts things off from their own 27. Ryan Counts goes back under center, 2 receivers to the left. Takes the snap, gives it, trying the right side, a little bit of a wiggle out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Good carry there. Noah Sanders picks up chunk yards at second down. And that's exactly what you want to see. They're running towards that right side, towards their big right tackle.
Yeah, for sure. Anything that you can do to bring it Avery Gatch's way, you want to do it. He's 6'5", 290 pounds. So
big fella.
Yeah, he's a unit out there. So anything you can do to bring the play that way, you want to do it.
Gain of 7 brings up 2nd and 3. Switching some personnel around on that formation. Coach to the shotgun. Calls for it. Quick throw out to the right side across the 45-yard line. And then taken out of bounds. Chris Little on the reception. Aiden French in coverage there. It's enough for a first down out to the 44.
Seeing this offensive coordinator talking to his quarterback, the quarterback has to know that it's man coverage. Anytime you have a motion guy going across the field and another guy follows him over there, and you have a trip set, then your first read wants to be the left side, where you have those complicated routes. You now have a linebacker on a wide receiver. He had a guy. If that's one of those things, you go back in the film room, hey, look at this next time, execute.
Coates gives this time Campo Lavesco out to the midfield stripe, crosses into Seaholm territory at the 49-yard line. It's a gain of 7. And just a very methodical drive here from Groves. Couple of chunk plays, picking up a first down or two, and now they're in Maples territory at the 49. They break the huddle and get to the line. Send 2 receivers to the left. Ball near hash mark. Groves moving left to right. Offset eye behind Ryan Counts, who goes under center. Calls for it. Gives it to a reversing Chris Little. Trying to make a couple of men miss. Gets a block from Noah Woods. Down to the 40-yard line. So a pickup of 7 on the play. Magnus Brandstrom makes the tackle, and it's enough for a first down.
Chris Little right there. He's like that Travis Hunter. He has that wide receiver on offense, cornerback on defense. He's been a very electric key piece to this Groves team this whole season, and I don't think we would be where we are right now without him.
Ryan Counts goes back under center, offset eye to the left. It's 1st and 10 from the 40 of Seaholm. Counts gives it, stretching. Campo Lavesco finally cut down shy of the 30-yard line at the 32. It's a gain of 8. Penn Roberts, the safety, makes the stop.
Somebody want to find me where the nearest IHOP is, because they're serving pancakes down here. We saw on that last play, this offensive line and receivers.
Counts gives it. Campo Lavesco off to the right to the 10-yard line, taken down at the 5-yard line. Combo tackle Nathan Walsh on the stop, as is Aiden French. But a big gain and a first down into the red zone. Go the Falcons.
Yeah, and if you're the Seaholm defense, you have got to stop those stretch plays. As a defensive lineman, you're taught to fight the pressure. Anytime you want those guys that are moving to one side or another, you want to get in their way so that those holes don't open up. They haven't done a great job of doing that here, and it's costing.
So they spot him at the 7, so it's 1st and goal from inside the 10. Counts under center. Motion man right to left. They give it. Breaking a tackle down to the 1-yard line. Campo Lavesco gets cut down short at the 2. Checked at the 1. So it's 2nd and goal from there. And they're just gashing Seaholm on that right side.
Beautiful drive right now. Just getting those chunk yards, not going all the way. I mean, they had that monster run by Mario over there, but still just like fighting through that, fighting through the contact just to get those little extra yards like we saw right there.
Offset eye to the right. Counts under center. Play clock at 7. Gets the snap off. Gives it into the end zone. Spinning at the goal line. Mario Campo Lavasco into the end zone. Touchdown Falcons.
Power run game. Run behind your big guys. Let the guys in the backfield deliver a few extra blocks for you. And at that point, it's just numbers. You have more numbers than they do. Run right through them. Easy 6 points. Touchdown Groves.
So Waters on to attempt the extra point. Ethan over here celebrating very quietly. Very quietly celebrating over here.
I have to compose myself.
A true professional in the booth. All right, good snap, good hold. Kicks up, and that's good. 7:53 to play here in the third quarter, and Groves gets another one here. They're up 21-zip.
Mario is having an awesome game right now. I think that was his second touchdown. I don't know how many yards, but it seems like all of Groves' offense is going through him right now.
Well, and again, when you've got that power run game, right, you know, Gabe, you talked about the pancakes, that offensive line doing work.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, like, how experienced these guys are on the offensive line, how experienced these running backs are by, like, seeing where the holes are in that offensive line and taking them and making Seaholm pay for what they can't make.
And in a rivalry game, tensions get high. The adrenaline's really pumping. It's been pretty clean so far. We haven't seen a ton of penalties. A couple of quick starts on one side or the other. We had Groves on a personal, but for the most part, it's been a pretty clean game.
Yeah, and both of these teams have playoff games coming up. You know, this isn't the end of either team's season. So this is one of those games where regardless, it's a cleanup game. You're preparing for the next one. Obviously, you want to beat the team that's in front of you, but you don't want to see those, crazy outlandish penalties. Obviously, there's going to be there's going to be some here and there, but overall, like you said, Chris, clean game. We'll see if it continues. Usually the end of the half is when, tempers start to flare.
No doubt, especially if this thing starts to get a little out of hand. So Waters here to put a foot on it, and I think it's safe to say Seaholm's got to put an offensive drive together here to get some points on the board. Here's a little chip shot. Fielded at the 15. Coming back the other way. Little bit of room. Cuts it inside. And they'll start things off at about the 30-yard line. Aiden French on the bring back for Seaholm.
Yeah, and for Seaholm, this is what we call a get-right drive. We always hear about get-right games, and, this is your get-right drive. It's the first drive for you coming out of the half. What adjustments did you make at halftime? Are you going to stick with what you've been doing, what you did well toward the end of the first half, or are you going to change it up a little bit? 21-0, but still a lot of time left in this game. We'll see what they come out and do.
So Grove strikes on their opening drive of the second half. And now Seaholm goes to work. Rowland gives up the middle, just nothing there. Just not a lot of room to run. Pick up one out to the 31. Maybe shade to the 32-yard line, but that's it.
Yeah, and I'm surprised he got that much. There was no room up the middle. This big Groves defensive line shutting that down. I'm sure that's what this defensive line talked about in the locker room during halftime, because they were starting to get gashed a little bit on those inside runs toward the end of the half. I'm sure they went over it. Seaholm trying to get back to it. That time Groves won the battle.
So 2nd and 8 here for the Maples. Rowland takes quick pitch. Here's a double reverse. Back to the quarterback, and then taken down. Juwan Hammonds.
Flag.
Makes the tackle, but we got a flag back at about the 19-yard line. So there's your answer, Gabe. What are they going to do? Are they going to stick to what they've been doing? It's a huge loss here. And let's get the call. They're huddled at about the 20-yard line. It was a double reverse back to Rowland, who wanted to take a shot. It was pretty good coverage down the field.
Well, like I said, when you have a team that plays as much man coverage as both of these teams do, and like I said, these players are pre-assigned to who they're going after. So it doesn't matter if they have the ball or not. They're going to run right at them and run right through them, as we saw right there. You, no matter what, you attack the guy that you're supposed to attack. Great execution there. Obviously, we'll check the penalty, but not a great play call given the tendencies of this Groves defense.
So that's going to be a face mask on Grove.
That one really hurts them right there. They needed that sack.
So that's going to, now they're just talking about where to spot the ball.
Yeah.
So they'll spot it at the 37.
If you're the Seaholm's offensive coordinator, take that play and never run it again.
Well, and I think you got to credit certainly this Groves defense. They
100%.
have been absolutely chomping at the bit almost every play, and they just blew that thing up. So it's second down. They give it. That's Penn Roberts on the carry. Pick up 6 out to the 42. It's enough for a first down. So aided by that face mask penalty, they pick up a first down out at the 42-yard line.
That's what I'm talking about. Go with what you know. Do what you've been doing. Do it well. Move the sticks. None fancy. Hard nose. Right up the middle.
So 1st and 10. Finn Rowland under center, giving it. That's Penn Roberts again. He'll pick up a yard out to the 43. And you've got big Avery Gotch out there as well on that defensive line. Plays that nose tackle position. Just eats up a lot of that interior.
Yeah, like I said earlier, and I keep repeating myself, he's going to Michigan. That's not the only big team that gave him commits or gave him scholarships. He also was talking to Alabama, Ohio State, my Fighting Illini from Illinois. he was hearing from all over the country.
Big win last week for the Illini.
Yeah, against Michigan, I was loving it. I was loving what I saw.
I gotta tell you, those throwback unis were great too.
Yeah, I love the
way,
helmets. I didn't really know about the jerseys, but the helmets were definitely there.
Helmets were cool. Boy, that ball looked like it was out. Grove says they've got it. And I think it stays with Seaholm. Yep, sure does. So it's going to be third down after the keeper from Finn Rowland out to the 48-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 4. They need the 48 of Groves.
Yeah, and if you're Seaholm, the way that they've been playing this game so far is that they have 2 downs here. They're not looking to punt. It's still third and medium, 3rd and short. I'm expecting them to run a 2-down type play here.
Seaholm still not on the board. Groves leads at 21-0. 4:45 to play here in the third quarter. Rowland takes, gives, up the middle. Just lower in the pads. Penn Roberts picks up 4, 5, 6, 7 yards inside the 45-yard line to the 44. Time is a bit of a factor here, though. 4:33 to play here in the third quarter.
I think that might have been their first time crossing midfield this game, Seaholm. I can't remember. Like, they had that pass, but it got called back for the pass interference. I think they might be getting into a groove here.
Certainly the first time here in the half they crossed that 50-yard line. Finn Rowland operating under center. Ball's out. He gets sacked, and Seaholm jumps on top of it. Boy, he coming off the edge. Jawan Hammonds. Boy, I don't know. Has there been a signal from the referees yet? And they do. And it's Grove's ball.
Yeah.
See, there's not too many things I love more than a good technical play, no matter what position you play. And as a defensive lineman, when you're coming across, especially on that blind side, you want to get your arms over. It's like you're bear hugging the quarterback. You don't want to tackle him low below the waist because that's not where the ball is. So anytime you have that, quarterback drops back to pass, get those arms up and over. We saw him knock the ball down and away. That is beautiful technique from this D-lineman. Shout out their D-line coach. Excellent. Turn the ball over. First down, Groves.
Ray Joy Aloka is the one who recovered that. So now Groves starts things off in plus territory at the 47-yard line. Counts under pressure, throws this one towards the backside, out across the 50 to the 45, still on his feet to the 40 to the 35, and then finally knocked out of bounds. Mario Campolavasco gets it inside the 35 to the 33-yard line for a big gain and a first down.
I don't know if that play was designed or not, that little throwback to the other side. If it is, great play design. I don't think I've ever seen something that takes that long to develop. That's a throw behind the line of scrimmage. But if not, shout out this quarterback and understanding where his check down is or is supposed to be on the field, made for a big play there.
Almost a blind throw. He just kind of whipped around and threw it backside.
He just clicked the button.
And Campolavasco was there. First down. Here's that stretch play. They give it to Noah Sanders. Breaking tackles near the 20 and then taken down at the 17-yard line.
Swiss cheese. You could drive a Mack truck through these holes that this offensive line is putting in this defense.
So first down here inside the red zone. 1st and 10 from the 17. Clock runs. 3 minutes left to play here in the third quarter. Groves already up 21-0. They want more. This time Counts goes to the shotgun. He's got 3 receivers left. Noah Woods, his tight end at that slot position. They go to the right side. Here's a little pitch back. Avery Gotch on the pitch. Chris Little caught the ball.
That was a little Dan Campbell right
little
there.
Dan Campbell special.
Was right out of Ben Johnson's playbook. a little Penny Sewell end around. We didn't see a flag on there, did we? No.
You can tell they've been practicing that all week for this game.
That is absolutely a design play.
Yeah, that's one of those where the player, goes back to practice on Monday after watching the NFL on Sunday. Coach, we got to try this, man. Hey, up 21-0 in the red zone, rivalry game. Play with your food a little bit.
Big fella, you're going to Michigan. I don't know if you need more. Counts under center. Takes balls on the ground. He hops back on top of it. I don't know that he ever actually had complete control of that ball. No, it looked like he took it from under center and just kind of bobbled it and lost control.
Well, with the way that these long stretch plays work, we've had to see this quarterback really sprint out to the right, sprint out to the left. So that time he was trying to run a little bit before he really even had the ball. That's why the ball ended up on the ground.
And again, that's the timing of it all, right? If you're running those stretch plays and the way that they run them with Counts, he really takes a very drastic angle as soon as he snaps that ball and just couldn't quite get his paws on it. So that'll move him back outside the 10-yard line. Counts, takes, fakes, looking, good coverage down the field, not a ton there, and just throws it. Oh, my goodness. Nearly had a man towards the back of the end zone. Looked like it was Wyatt Shortridge. I thought he was just cashing that ball outside the back of the end zone. But it was just out of the stretched hands of Shortridge, and there's a flag back at the 13, and it's a hold on Groves, so that'll move him back. So they'll replay third down here as Seaholm accepts the penalty. They could have elected to decline it because it was 4th down on the incompletion. So that moves him back outside the 20-yard line out to the 24. Check that, the 23, excuse me. And Ryan Counts has an opportunity to at least pick up a first down. They need the 7. Ball's at the 16. Third down. And we've got whistles. Groves wants to talk things over. $1:47 to play here in the third. Groves up 21-0. So what's the call here from a Groves perspective? Is it to play a little conservative? That you said it best, but they're playing with their food a little bit. Did they take a shot here?
I think you play conservative. I think you're in field goal range. I think if you get maybe into the middle of the field, just make sure it's a nice, easy chip shot for your kicker. Make it 24-0. it puts you in a good situation for the rest of the game.
Yeah, and if you're Seaholm, you saw, like, earlier, we had a 3rd and long or 4th and long, and they played kind of like in that quarters defense, and they got beat deep for about 15 yards, which is what the down and distance is here. So, the thing is for Groves, you technically have 2 downs. Obviously, if you pick up enough yards here, you might be able to go for it. If not, you take your points. But if you're Seaholm, this is all about situational football. It's 3rd down. You can get back into your zone, but do you want to get beat the same way? That time they came out in man, and I think that's why Groves ended up calling the timeout. So they've been playing well in man defense so far. Whether they stick with it or not, we'll see what they do here.
And from Seaholm's perspective, it's a win if they don't get into the end zone, right? If you give up that field goal, it's a win. Time is a factor here for the Maples. But it's a win down here deep. They were inside the 10-yard line at one point. If you keep them out of the end zone, it's a win for the Maples.
100%.
So they go offset eye to the left. Noah Sanders in the backfield. They give it to him on that stretch play left, out to the 20, to the 15, cuts it inside, still dancing, inside the 10-yard line, dives near the 5, and that looks like he's got enough for a first down. He does. Wow.
I don't know what happened there from the Seaholm defense. It's just like they didn't have numbers. They had the offset eye. That's one thing with zone coverage. Zone coverage, you don't match up like right over top of the offensive players. So you kind of put yourself out of position. So anytime you have that offset eyes to the left side, but you don't have numbers on the left side, running to the left side is the easiest play of all time. They pick up the first down there.
They needed 16. They got 17 down to the 6. Counts under center. Takes the snap on that stretch play, gives it. Noah Sanders trying to find the end zone. He gets pushed out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Looks like at about the 4. So just a gain of 2 on the play brings up 2nd and goal.
Yeah, and one thing you'll notice is that the defensive end, the edge rusher, his responsibility is outside contain. And as we've seen on these runs to the right, there's been no outside contain. And that is 100% the responsibility of Avery Gatch. I mean, this is just a masterful performance, sealing that edge, turning him inside, and letting the rest of the offensive line and running back stretch to the right.
And their tendencies, whatever hash mark they're on, they're running the opposite way usually. So they're near hash mark here. Counts takes. They're going to run it to the right. That's Noah Sanders. Lowers the shoulders into the end zone. Touchdown, Groves. And that lead expands to 27-0.
Beautiful right there.
That is a 2-headed monster out of the backfield.
Yeah. Noah, he hurt his foot earlier in the week at school. He was in a boot and crutches. And so it's awesome to see him back out there rivalry week, as we said earlier. It does something to those players.
No better medicine than rivalry week, like I said.
So Gage Wyatt on to attempt the extra point. With just a minute 3 left to play here in the 3rd quarter. Ooh, that snap was a little... Oh, wow, he still put it through. Almost kind of snapped it to the hip of Ryan Counts. And he had to get that ball back, and Waters able to put it up through the uprights just barely. It was a wobbly little kick, but got it up through the uprights for the extra point. So Groves up 28-0.
Yeah, Chris, I played a little bit of place kick holder my senior year of high school. It's
very important. guys just got it all.
I mean, props to him. He got there, but I think he had a little hand-holding on the way up.
A little bit, maybe. Maybe just a little bit. It would help if he had a famous dad. It would help.
I think I've heard of him before.
You just wonder where he would have gotten.
I mean, yeah, if my dad was the second greatest basketball player of all time.
Agreed.
Behind
Agreed
who,
completely.
Shaq?
Wait, what'd you say?
Behind who, Shaq?
A division in the booth here. All right, Seaholm back in action. Here's a give up the middle. Pick up a 2 out to the 32-yard line. That's Penn Roberts on the carry. Excuse me. Yep. Check that. Alex Smith on the carry there. So we haven't seen Patrick Hughes. He got banged up in that first half, and it's been a steady dose of Finn Rowland at quarterback here for Seaholm as he goes under center. A couple of receivers tight to the formation on the left, fakes the sweep, and he's going to get tackled. Big loss. Juwan Hammonds takes him down again. He forced that fumble earlier. He is just a menace coming off the edge.
Beautiful defense right there. I mean, the quarterback barely had any time. He faked the handoff, and then right when he was trying to look downfield, he was in his face, and he was down before he even knew it.
That's going to do it for the third quarter. It's all Groves up 28-0 on the Maples of Seaholm. We'll take a break. It's our Drive to the Game coverage right here on WJR.
This is SportsCaster.com. Have a dream to one day be a professional sportscaster? Love commenting on sports?
Ready?
Want to be the next great voice? SportsCaster.com is the place to make those dreams come true. A great sports broadcaster is able to capture the action.
Down goes Frazier! Down goes Frazier!
Amplify the drama.
To the end zone! Touchdown Detroit Lions! Oh my!
Create memories forever etched in our minds.
A year that has been so improbable, the impossible has happened.
Sends shivers up our spine, make us leap out of our seat, scream at the TV, and even ask ourselves, did that really just happen?
Do you believe in miracles? Yes!
Now it's your turn to let your voice be heard.
Once again, versatility, the word of the night for Anthony Battani.
SportsCaster.com provides all the tools you need to produce your own content, create your own sports talk show, stir it up with sports commentary, and even take a shot at live play-by-play. Whether young or old, new to sportscasting, or a seasoned voice in sports, just register and open your own channel, create and upload your content, and show the world you know sports. SportsCaster.com. Now, we put the mic in your hands and put you in the center of the action.
It's going down tonight, yeah. Dive right in, let's go.
To the Game, sponsored by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Also sponsored by McLaren Healthcare. Once again, Chris Renwick.
I tell you guys are doing it different out here in Birmingham. We got the lights flickering on and off to the beat. This crowd is pumped up for the fourth quarter. 3rd and long here for Seaholm. They need the 40. Ball spotted at about the 24-yard line. They give it. Check that, taken down for a loss back at the 20-yard line. So it's 4th down, and Seaholm, you know, at this point, you gotta tip your cap to what Groves has been doing defensively as they send the punt unit on the field.
If you just take a look out there, the Seaholm crowd is already making their way to their cars, and it's just the start of the fourth quarter. Like, you love to see it from a Groves perspective. All these players are my boys. Like, I go to school with them, I have class with them. They're all just cool people just to hang out with. I can't wait till my sophomore friends hit the field like Ezra Brown and Michael West. It'll be awesome to see them if they ever get in.
That's going to take a Seaholm hop. past the midfield stripe at about the 48-yard line, and that's where Groves will take over. So they got some good starting field position here to start the fourth quarter. Band into it below us. The glow sticks active. We got a packed house here at Groves High School for a big-time game to end the 2024 high school season. In the regular season, both these teams aspirations here in the postseason, though.
Oh, for sure, and this is what it's all about. You know, like I said, I always talk about like get-right games and those prep games. And this is a game for both these teams. You know, prep going to the playoffs, big weeks next week, rest, recuperate, get back at it.
I think the parents are bringing more energy than the student section right now, but the student section's definitely bringing the energy.
All right, motion man right to left. Ryan counts from the shotgun. Here's a quick pass out to the right. Chris Little breaking a tackle out to the 40-yard line, taken down for a gain of 12 and a first down. When you got that explosiveness on the outside, it makes a world of a difference, especially if you've got soft coverage.
Yeah, and that's zone coverage. It's cover 3, but that cornerback over there is going to have the hard flat, so it's still going to be one-on-one. So that's the situation where Grove says, my athlete versus your athlete, give me my athlete 100% of the time, makes a big play there, first down Groves.
Aiden French in coverage over there on Chris Little. So 1st and 10 from the 40 of Seaholm. Noah Woods goes in motion. A little bit of confusion, but they finally get set. Counts wants to throw, got a man out across the 40-yard line. Noah Sanders there on the reception, lined up at the wide receiver spot, so they'll pick up 2, brings up 2nd down and 8. Kyle Moore, the outside linebacker, making the stop there for Seaholm.
It's good spatial awareness by these Seaholm linebackers, understanding you see them stretch their arms out, making sure they have every zone accounted for. Short gain there.
2nd and 8. Coach from the shotgun. Calls for it, gets it, throws it left side, got a man. That's Nick Hardy on the reception. Makes that catch inside the 30-yard line and then tackled immediately out of bounds.
You love to see all these back-to-back passes. It's been running the whole game. It's nice to change the scenery just to see them passing downfield.
Ryan Counts comes up a little bit gimpy, heads to the sideline to get his call from his coach, and now back to the huddle. Chris Renwick, Gabe Loper, Ethan Pavey, it's good to have you with us for this final game of the regular season. Under center, Coates takes, gives not a lot of room there. Mario Campo-Lavasco on the carry, picks up maybe 1 out to the 26-yard line, but that's it. 2nd down and long. Under 9 to play here, and Seaholm yet to get on the board. It's all Groves, 28-0. And from Grove's perspective, they're just taking the time.
Yeah.
Right? They've hit a couple of pass plays, but they're not in any rush.
No hurry right now. Up 28 with 8:30 to go in the game. They like the position that they're in. Rivalry week, I don't think anyone would be complaining if they're up 28 against their rival right now.
No doubt about that. They go under center, offset eye to the right. Coates takes. Gives, that's Campo-Lavasco, spinning at the 23-yard line and then taken down inside the 20. Spot him at the 18-yard line.
Uh-oh.
So that brings up 3rd down and short here inside the 20. They need the 17, ball spotted at the 19.
Tell you what, this Groves offensive line is
they're just moving
the Seaholm defensive line. I mean, Seaholm had 5-6 guys on the line of scrimmage that time, and it looked like they had 1. Groves is doing whatever they want with the football, especially in the run game.
Play clock down to 4. They get it off. They give it. Noah Sanders makes a cut upfield, still turning inside the 10-yard line down to the 6. And it's 1st and goal for Groves. we got a Seaholm player down, slow to get up.
And a Groves player.
That's Kyle Moore. And a Groves player down well behind the play. That's the starting right guard, Ray Glory Ijoika, who is still down near the Groves sideline, near that 20-yard line. So good to see Kyle Moore able to get up. And they get their starting right guard to his feet and able to walk off very gingerly, maybe favoring that right leg a little bit.
Walking off by himself,
Walking
though,
it's
always a good sign.
No doubt about it.
I mean, it's not a good sign that he was hurt, but it's a good sign to see.
Sure. Yeah, anytime you can get up by yourself is a good thing. So 7:24 to play here in the fourth quarter. Groves already up 28-0. They're looking for more. Courtesy of that Noah Sanders run puts him inside the 10 at the 6. And Sanders dots the I. Counts under center. Motions a man left to right, gives it Noah Sanders. Little stutter step at the line of scrimmage. Dives forward at the goal line, get inside the 3 to about the 2 before he's chopped down.
Gotta love the Sanders family ritual of keeping the legs churning, especially near the goal line. That's what. Because the thing is, I mean, once you stop your legs, you're getting thrown backwards.
No doubt.
Keep those legs churning. Never know what's going to happen.
He's got a little bit of familiar wiggle. Noah Sanders does. So at the 2-yard line, Ryan counts under center. Giving it, Noah Sanders untouched.
Boom.
Into the end zone on the right side. Shrugs off one defender. That's the safety, Penn Roberts. But he gets into the end zone for a Groves touchdown.
Yeah, and right there, like I said, I mean, Seaholm is not adjusting, especially to this halfback motion. They're not. You want to, in those situations, anytime you see motion in the backfield like that, you want to see the defensive line either shift, adjust, the linebacker shift. Right there, they're just being stationary. Groves is doing a great job of moving guys around and getting numbers where they want them. Seaholm, no adjustment from them, and I honestly don't expect it to change throughout the rest of this game.
So here's Gage Waters on to try the extra point. Good snap, good hold. That one's up, and it is through.
Prettier than the last kick.
No doubt about it. A little bit cleaner, and Groves extends their lead. It's 35-0.
It's cleaner, but I still don't think it was a perfect special teams rep there. You know, those interior guards got pushed back pretty heavy, so
a little bit of pressure up the middle.
Special teams coaches are perfectionists. They're perfectionists.
So, of course, the playoff implications here, pretty interesting, because potentially, depending on seeding and districts and things like that, or regions rather, these two teams could meet again in the postseason. I mean, as things stand now, you're looking at a Groves Ferndale, maybe a Warren Mott Seaholm matchup, but they would eventually meet up back again in the postseason potentially.
If they meet up again, it's going to be the third year in a row. They split the series, the playoff series. 2022-2023 they played. Groves won that game 26-12, and last year they played, and Seaholm won that with a whopping score of 49-56.
Oof.
Which, fingers crossed it Groves away if they play again.
No doubt. So this is a little squib kick. That ball's live!
It's going Groves. Come on.
Does Groves have it? It was a squib kick, and they do!
Yeah!
Near the 25-yard line, it was pooched. It looked like Seaholm had an opportunity to just fall on top of it. I believe it was Penn Roberts, one of the receivers, the starting safety for this team, and he just couldn't quite get his hands on it.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's just a result of what's happened just so far in this game, and you want to be aggressive, and you don't want to just fall on the football. You want to make a play. You're down 35-0, but nonetheless, no matter what the score is, especially on special teams, you have to play smart football. Trying to do too much there, and it costs his team a turnover.
And that was near the far sideline. It almost looked like it was tracking out of bounds, just the way it was hopping. Meanwhile, Ryan Counts' day is done. Lavelle Shannon comes into the game at quarterback. They get that stretch play to the left. Just a little bit of a stutter step. That's Mario Campolavasco. Picks up positive yards inside the 25-yard line to the 23. And Campolavasco comes up a bit shaky. He makes his way to the sideline.
I do like the idea of taking your starters out of the game. Game's obviously over. So, you know what? Let everybody get healthy. Move on to the playoffs next week.
So 2nd down and 7. Shannon takes the snap, gives it to his back with some room on the left side, taken down near the 25-yard line. That's Carter Anderson on the carry. Penn Roberts making the stop. It's a gain of 6, so it's 3rd and 1. Groves needs the 16-yard line, ball at the 17. And again, time not a factor here for Groves, up 35-0. Just 4:10 to play here in the game. Need a yard for a fresh set. Shannon goes under center. Offset eye to the right. Ball's on the ground. Seaholm's got it.
Oh, God. We're up.
So they'll take over at the 22-yard line. But look, these snaps for a lot of these backups can be very valuable.
Yeah.
Right? You don't know when Lavelle Shannon's going to have to get into the game. Ryan Counts came up gimpy a couple of times today. So those mistakes can be made in a game like this when you've got a big lead.
For sure.
You just don't know when you get called into action.
Yeah. You always have to stay on your feet if you're that backup guy or even the backup's backup. You always have to stay on your feet, always ready for your moment, your time to shine.
So now Seaholm gets their first turnover of the game. And it's a keeper here by the quarterback. Brody Gable, the sophomore, getting some time. Same goes on the other side. A couple of guys get some game action here. He'll pick up 2 out to the 24-yard line, 2nd and 8.
And obviously one of the biggest difference makers between obviously high school and, like, say, the pros is that these depth guys, these sophomores, juniors, these guys are going to be starters. And, guys getting, full-time reps next season, especially in a rivalry game like this, always good to get experience wherever you can get it.
So here's a keeper once again. Brody Gable picks up a couple of more out to the 28-yard line. So now it's all about playoff implications. It's all about seeding. It's where you get filed away. And if things were to stand today, these two teams would most likely, or at least have a chance of seeing each other again in the playoffs.
Which, come to think about it, now I don't like the idea of using the trick play there because now everybody knows it's in the playbook,
Oh, that ball is, I don't know if it was pitched or if it was fumbled, but that's a loss. And it's going to be 4th down and 9 after the loss.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Chris, that was a pitch, but it was almost a fumble. But great hands by the running back to, get your fingertips on it and haul it in, or else that may have been 6 going the other way. Little, not pick 6, I guess pick up 6.
Pick up 6.
Seen it, but smart play, good play there. That's one of those, it's like, hey, coach, check this on film.
That's Conrad Swanson with the hands. It's one of the plays you put in your huddle.
Yes, yes.
It's a loss, but it shows you what you can do with the ball.
Scoreboard doesn't show up on huddle sometimes. Depends on what school you went to.
All right, so here's the punt. Ooh, Groves getting after it.
Beautiful punt.
Great punt. It's going to take a Groves hop inside the 35-yard line down to the 39, so that's where the Falcons will take over. Just under a minute to play.
And shout out Wesley Billings, the punter / place kicker for Seaholm here. One of the bright spots today. We saw
He's
that.
had a couple of big
including
punts.
the scramble drill punt that we saw earlier. Wish we could have seen him kick some extra points today, but you know what? Hey, punters, they got to have film too.
The crowd is feeling it. Think they can finally feel that win in their back pocket.
Yeah, I would say with 20 seconds left, up 35. I don't guarantee anything, but it feels.
You never know.
Pretty set. It feels pretty set. That would be. I mean, that's a SportsCenter top 10 at that point. So just like that, Lavelle Shannon takes the knee, and Groves comes out on top, 35-0 to end the regular season here of high school football. And how about your Falcons?
Oh my God, that was beautiful.
Undefeated
Beautiful
in your sophomore season.
Beautiful last game, beautiful everything. It was awesome. I can't wait to see what these seniors do. I mean, season's not over yet, but I can't wait to see what they do next year at college. Can't wait to see who steps up next year for Groves. It'll be awesome.
They got a lot of firepower. Ethan Pavey, it's been fun. Thank you, my friend.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you sitting in here. It's been a lot of fun. And Gabe Loper, the grizzled veteran, stepping into duty. Thank you, my friend. It's good to see you.
And it's been a blast this season. Hoping to be back, maybe catch a couple playoff games or whatever. I'm always around, you know.
You're around.
I'm a phone call away. I keep my Fridays available.
And you have a nice time tomorrow down in Ann Arbor.
Yes, go green. I go to Wayne State, but go green nonetheless. Aiden Childs, I think, if he doesn't turn the ball over, you know, which is like the same way of saying if they don't call me to do these games, it's almost bound to happen. So we'll see.
It's going to be a fun one. All right, I'm Chris Renwick for Gabe Loper, Ethan Pavey. Have yourself a wonderful Friday night, a wonderful weekend. Enjoy Rivalry Week. And we will see you next time right here on our Drive to the Game coverage right on WJR.
So what we're doing with SportsCaster.com is we're giving people a platform, a community, all focused on sports broadcasting, whether it be a podcast, a piece of commentary, stirring it up with the other guys, you know, the Michigan-Ohio State fans getting together on a particular issue and really going at it, whatever it may be, or a live play-by-play opportunity. People can go there, subscribe to the channels, enjoy their favorite sports broadcasters and their commentary and their content. And it's a great way for people to learn and hone their craft before they go out and, do it at the NFL or the college level.
Well, I think that's a great idea. I truly do, and it's going to help broadcasters. You asked me earlier, what should a young broadcaster do to get started? Exactly what you're talking about. Yeah. Find a way to get on that SportsCaster.com, get on that high school broadcast, and when you do, tape it, so that you have an audition tape that you can send to some other outlet, wherever it is, and say, hey, this is what I can do. This is what I've done before. Like actors send out lists of credits. Yep. This is a movie I've done before. This is a voiceover I've done before. Same thing with SportsCaster.com. Get on that broadcast, find a way and do it, and then tape it, and then send it along so that someone else gets an opportunity. Who knows? You may get hired, and you're not just 1 week, you're 10 weeks in a row. And that's how you do it. It's hard. It doesn't pay a lot of money. But if you're really committed and you really want to do it, hopefully, there's nothing more rewarding. There's one of those things I tell people. I said, if you have a job you love, you don't work a day in your life. Yeah. Well, I'm guilty.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what being a sports broadcaster, especially play-by-play, I was very, very lucky to do that. But it starts out hard, but once you get there, it's very rewarding.
Mom.
Hey, welcome to the post-game for SportsCaster.com and WJR. 35-0. Birmingham Groves won this one. Really asserted their dominance in the second half. I'm not sure Seaholm crossed the 50-yard line in the second half.
I don't believe they did.
And you know what? They've got bragging rights now. They've got bragging rights for as long as they go before another game next season. Maybe they'll be in the playoffs, but it probably will not be a week 1 or a week 2 matchup in the postseason here. So welcome to the post-game show. Very excited to talk to you today. Lots of analysis. Hopefully we'll be joined by a couple of players. Taryn and our producer Mark are over there with the Groves team right now trying to grab a couple of key players. But Justin, I mean, when you look at this one, it started off, I mean, it was only 14-0 at the half, but it felt like it was Groves' game.
Yeah.
And they just continued to pile it on throughout the
Well,
whole.
it didn't help. The starting quarterback knocked out of the game for Seaholm. That obviously stunted the offense. That was relatively stunted to begin with. Running the veer, triple option is what they ran. You only can go so far with that unless you have a very experienced and very capable offensive line and running back and a quarterback that frankly knows how to do that. And when you have a backup who doesn't quite get the same type of reps, especially live game reps, that Seaholm expects from their starter, you're going to have a bad time. And that's exactly what happened. And Groves, quite frankly, we talked about it in the pregame, we talked about it at halftime. Seaholm ended their regular season surprisingly a year ago, and then they beat him in the first round of the playoffs a year ago to end their season. One team was more motivated than the other.
Yeah, and I mean, you saw right from the jump, and it's not even that they were at home. You just saw an attitude when Groves took the field here. And you also, like, I'm not a big necessarily, hey, one team looks the part and the other one doesn't, but there's a lot of dudes on this Groves team, including Avery Gatch, the offensive lineman going to Michigan next year, biggest player on the field for either team.
Yeah.
I thought Noah Woods, the tight end for Groves, who had the first touchdown catch, he was a dude. You know, the running backs were dudes. I mean, you had Noah Sanders, who had a really nice game. I think he scored a couple of touchdowns. Just a lot of dudes on this Groves team. And I think the question now is a little bit about, like, what they're capable of the rest of the season. They're undefeated going into the playoffs. Now, obviously, it's going to be a couple of days until a playoff matchups are announced. But they could really make some noise in the postseason.
Absolutely. It's the first time since 2015 a team has gone undefeated at Groves. So that is, I mean,
9
come on,
years, I think
9
math.
years.
Let's do some math.
It's just quite frankly, in high school football, to go undefeated, you have to have a team that's capable of making a significant run because of the week in, week out nature of the sport. So very cool to see Groves get it done. Senior night at home, a little bit of revenge, and they have the athletes that we've been, SportsCaster.com and WJR for the game of the week, have been at some really good Class A Division I games this year. This is yet another one of those. I think Groves can play with some of the teams like Detroit Catholic Central. I see them being able to play with a Belleville. I mean, we didn't see maybe vintage Belleville because they didn't have to against their opponent, Dearborn Fordson, last week. But I can really see this Groves team getting deep into this playoffs as long as they take care of business the first couple of weeks, beat the teams that are just there because they got the 6 wins. They're peaking at the right time, and I think this game was 35-0. Just cements that even further that they're ready to make a legitimate run in the high school football playoffs.
Well, you brought up an interesting commenting on all the games we saw now, and I think there was only one team. We saw De La Salle twice, so you're talking about 9 weeks, 17 teams that we saw over the last couple of weeks. Had so much fun with it. Who was the best team you saw out of those 9 weeks?
I think it's Detroit Catholic Central by far. I think Detroit Catholic Central is poised to make a extremely deep run into the postseason. That team was probably the best team that I had seen at the eye test. What about you? Did you see anybody different than that?
I thought Catholic Central was probably the best team. They had the quarterback, they had the great wide receivers. They really just dominated at the line of scrimmage. I think a wild card to me is Saline.
Yeah, Saline looked really good
really
too.
Early on in the year, they beat Dexter. They had they had a couple of players who were ruled ineligible, and I think they had to forfeit a game or maybe 2 games. But it ultimately not going to impact their ability to go to the playoffs.
Right.
Tommy Carr, who is the grandson of Lloyd Carr, former Michigan coach, younger brother C.J. Carr, who was at Notre Dame as a freshman. I thought was one of the best quarterbacks. We saw some really good quarterbacks this season. And so, yeah, it's going to be anybody's game, but I do think, and you guys were up in the box calling this one, we were just saying that we thought Groves looks like a team that has a chance to compete for the state title. You guys just watched them. What were your impressions, your overall impressions of watching this Groves team here tonight?
Well, this Groves team does they do every, like the fundamentals, they do them right. You know, we always talk about running the ball and then stopping the run. Groves did a great job first off in stopping the run. I mean, anytime you have like that triple option kind of offense that we saw, you know, this team, you know, them go against, anytime you can stop that, assign players to other players, assign position groups to other players, and, you know, do so well while also running the ball. We saw those stretch players running right, running left. The way that this offensive line fires off the ball, you know, it's one of those things, and you're sealing off the edges, and anytime you can do those two things right, you're going to have success. And those things always translate, especially in the playoffs. You know, it gets colder out and everything else. And, you know, this team, don't be surprised if they're fighting for a state championship.
Ethan, that's got to be music to your ears, huh?
Yeah, it was a beautiful game out there today. For the playoffs, like you were talking about, I think something that could be very beneficial to us is how old we are. We have a really old team, a bunch of seniors, a bunch of commits for college next year. If they've all been in the playoff situation before, I think if they really like set their mind to it, they've all been there. The nerves are a little calmer than the younger teams out there. If they just use that senioritis to their advantage, I think they could be pretty good.
Yeah, I love it. Ethan, so you are, you know, you're a senior at Groves.
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore at Groves. Okay, so what was this experience like for you to watch your team go out there and not only beat your rival, but thoroughly beat your rival? You talked to us pregame a little bit about the camaraderie and everything that was going on in the high school. This has got to be a great feeling for you and for all of your classmates.
Yeah, for sure. The energy just today and this whole week, just everyone bouncing off the walls. Can't wait till Friday. Everyone just watching the clock tick down today during class. Last year, we lost to these guys twice, both in heartbreaker fashion, one in the playoffs. I think combined we almost had 100 points, like 56 to 49 or something crazy like that. So it was awesome to see us fight during this one and shut them out, and I was very proud of our boys.
It kicks off your rivalry weekend with a bang, I would say. 35-0 running clock to end the game up there. So SportsCaster.com, for those of you who are maybe unfamiliar with it, we put the microphone in kids' hands or young adults' hands, people who want to break into the broadcasting world. And these two gentlemen here on the booth with us talking about the postgame, another experience for Gabe. The third one, I think, of the year for you, and the first experience for you, Ethan. So, Ethan, let's start with you. It's your first time up there. I mean, what kind of fun was this for you?
This was awesome. For the past couple of years, I've always wanted to go into something like this, and my opportunity arose today during class. I joined pretty late, but I still think I did pretty good today up in the booth. But this is awesome. It gives me some exposure into what my career might look like down the road. And it was awesome. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You did a great. I can't wait to go back and listen to it because I'm down on the field. You're down on the field. We don't have a chance. So one person in the booth with you is a 3-time color commentator for his first opportunity. We've called him back because he's been doing such a great job. That's Gabe Loper. Gabe, give us the 4-1-1 on the Rook. How'd he do?
Dude, that was great, man. I mean, it's always fun, you know, having, you know, young guys up there. I mean, I'm talking as if I've been up there like 36 times. But no, dude, listen, man, that was great. That was great. His insight, only thing, you're too much of a fan.
You know what, though? Hold on.
Hang on a second.
Hold on. We always say that's okay, right?
Oh, yeah,
because he's a student here. He's supposed to have a little bit of fun. He's supposed to be a little bit of a homer, like the Detroit Lions. I'm curious, Ethan. There were a couple of trick plays that Groves came up with today, including one that it was a carbon copy of the Dallas Cowboys Detroit Lions game where was it Amon Ra that caught it?
I forget who.
They
tried to get Avery Gatch.
Yeah, right down here.
With Panay Sewell.
Yeah,
how did you guys call that one? I want to know what you guys said there.
I think I was the one who said it, actually. Right when that happened, I was like, wow, that's very Dan Campbell right there.
Oh,
okay. Beautiful. It was a mirror image. I think if they were a little closer to the end zone there, Avery could have gotten in, but still got the first down.
I mean, 290 pounds. He got stopped at the 5-yard line by a DB. We're going to have to maybe talk to him about his strength and conditioning out there.
I don't know. I watched Avery Gatch today run over a lot of the Seaholm defensive players.
Yeah, he's going to be a good lineman.
You heard the Seaholm players screaming like, "Play's over, dude! Play's over, dude!" because they did not want to be hit anymore.
They were finishing through contact.
Well, that's one of the things that we were talking about. You know, I asked Chris up there. I was like, "Dude, do we have an IHOP open down here?" Because they were delivering pancakes.
Oh, look at you with the quips and the lines. All right, we're getting some of our players coming here to join us for the post-game show as Mr. Michael Spath will take a move out so we can get this gentleman in
Great game,
here.
Man. Well played, for sure.
All right, put your headset on. Get in here. Introduce yourself.
Mario Campoy-Lavasco, number 6, Girls High School.
All right, 35. They took the score off the scoreboard.
Yeah,
so
35-0.
that you're going to remember that one for a while, aren't you?
Big time, yeah.
Take me through this, the pregame talk, the hype. I know that team on the other sideline took you guys out of the regular season last year, and with their playoff, was that talked about a lot this week?
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking about it since, 365 days ago, since last year. We wanted this for so long, and, I mean, we got it, and it just feels good. I mean, I want to play them again, though. We played them twice, lost them twice last year. I want to play them again. So.
Yeah. Back to last year, I was there. I think everyone, you remember the game. It was a pretty heartbreaker in the playoffs. How do you think you're going to bounce back for these playoffs and fight?
I mean, I want to win a state championship. Everyone down there wants to win a state championship. So that's how we're going to bounce back. We're going to win it all.
For sure. Now, what with you obviously being one of the the powerhouse power backs back there, what separates, or what do you think separates your team from the rest of the teams that will be your competition going to these playoffs?
I mean, first of all, my defense, I don't think it's lit up 30 points all year. Not in one game. I mean, throughout the entire season, they've been playing amazing. I think 7 out of the 9 games are shutouts. And then, I mean, my offense. We have the best O-line in the state, and we have the best receivers, best QB, I mean, 2 best running backs in the state. So.
Do you think people maybe be sleeping on Groves a little bit out here?
I mean, I shouldn't be.
That's what I was going to say. Shouldn't be, right?
Yeah.
You also mentioned that offensive line. You guys always run those stretch plays. What's it like running behind? I mean, what's the confidence like running behind an offensive line like that?
I mean, it feels so good. I've been lucky to have a great offensive line all 4 years of my high school career, and I mean, I don't want to say it, but I think this might be the best one I've run through. So it feels awesome.
Well, good luck to you. We're going to replace with your teammate who's going to come and take your spot. Thank you so much for joining us here on the post-game show.
Great
we
game
appreciate that. We'll take that headset from you. There we go. We'll get the next one in. What's up, man? Put that headset on, would you please? Hey, Noah Sanders joining us now. 2 touchdowns in this game, and you just said this was fun. 35-0 against your rival.
Oh yeah, we've been waiting for this one for sure.
Take me back. Take me back to maybe what was the quintessential speech? Was it from your coach? Was it from a senior last year? Who was it that said this game matters for what they did to us last year?
It started last year. All winter lifts. We started maybe 2 weeks after that game where we lost in playoffs, and it was 56 push-ups, 56 squats, 56 sit-ups. We remember that 56 number that they put in us, and we've been marking this day on our calendar since then.
56.
Yeah.
Wow.
I personally want to put 56 on them today, but
you don't have a shot coming up. You don't have the playbook in your hand.
Yeah.
So I got to ask. Now you're you have another powerhouse running back with you. Of
course.
You guys are 1 hit, 2 hit. What's it like knowing that when you come out of the game and he's going in, same production, if not, I mean, just delivering the blow. What's that like?
It's a great feeling how I can rely on somebody else, step in. If I'm down or if he's down, I can step in. Or if we're just both in at the same time, like when we're in a certain package, we're both performing on the field.
Playoffs coming up. How are you feeling about that? How's your team? Obviously steamrolling. Seaholm here. 9-0 going into the playoffs. How are you guys feeling?
Oh, we're feeling very confident. That's all I can really say. Confident, and we're trying to win that state championship. Nothing less.
I mean, he was just talking about your defense. You know, obviously, you guys haven't let up a lot of points to anybody this year. 7 and 9 shutouts. Is that true?
Pretty sure, yeah. It should have been more, but yeah.
It should have been more.
Should have been more, but it's okay. We gave them a few, but yeah, we have a really good defense this year.
I mean, when you think about just how confident you want to be going in, but keeping what happened last year. Is that something you can take with you, knowing hey, we understand that we feel like we can put our foot in the ground and move forward, but we got to do the little things right. And you guys did a lot of the little things right tonight.
Yeah.
Is that how you guys will approach this?
Yeah, we have, even if we've been riding high, winning a lot of games, our coach keeps our heads clear, keeps that anybody can still beat us, no matter what their record is, no matter what guys they have, they can still beat us. So that's why we have to do the little things right and just build on it, and we'll keep doing things like this.
Now I have to ask.
Yeah.
Have to. You're going into, playoffs. You just had another big game. You've had big games all season. What is what have you heard from your dad? Going into games and games like these and situations like these.
He may call me the night before, ask how I'm feeling, ask me if I need any food or anything like that. But that's pretty much it. And just send me a good luck text, morning before, and that's pretty much it. Watch from the stands.
Noah Sanders, thank you so much for joining us here. Of course, Gabe Loper, thank you for joining us as well. And our new friend down on the edge there, our Seaholm, or our Groves sophomore, is joining us as well. Thanks, guys. We got to wrap up this broadcast here for SportsCaster. We'll see you later. Ream now, and Avery Gatch is joining us here. I heard about 4 or 5 Seaholm kids go, "Play's over, man, play's over, man," when you were still blocking them. I mean, you had a little lust for blood on this one because of what they did to you guys last year, huh?
Yeah, it means more. I like playing through the whistle and dominating. So,
how did this one feel? Obviously, it seemed 14-0. You probably were. What was the halftime chat like?
We scored, I think, 2 out of 3 possessions that we got the ball. I felt like we were dominating at half. I don't think the score showed, but the aura was high in there, so it was good.
Okay, now I have to ask. You had a play that you caught the end around. Now, obviously,
yeah.
As Ethan pointed out earlier, that's like a carbon copy of the Dan Campbell.
Yep, Peninsula.
So, is that something that you saw on Sunday and was like, "Hey, Coach, we got to do this," or did Coach tell you, like, "Hey, let's run this"? I've
been bugging them to get me the ball for forever. Once I saw the Peninsula play last year, I've been on them about it. But I wish the corner didn't bite the route. I wish I scored there, but it is what it is.
What were you feeling when you heard the play call?
I got a little jitters then.
I played offensive lineman when I was in high school, and our hands aren't always necessarily the best. Were you nervous at all about receiving the toss or anything like that? What was it?
I got advice from some people about catching the ball with my eyes and tucking the ball in. Shout out Coach Newsom.
So. There you go. That's the way to do it. Absolutely. All right, so you guys are undefeated. First time since a Groves team has done that since 2015. What kind of pride do you take with that stat?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's our senior year. Seniors are leading really well right now, and we're dominating it. It means a lot.
Gentlemen, anything more for this young man?
No, for sure. So another question I wanted to ask is this offensive line. You guys aren't just physical. You guys aren't just powerful. You guys are fast. I mean, you got your quarterback out there getting the hand up and then sprinting to hand the ball off. What does that say, not about just you and your ability, but your offensive line in general?
I took the hard beating after we lost to them last year. The paper said that Seaholm offensive and defensive line dominated Groves offense and defensive line last year, and I bookmarked that. Shout out Oakland Press on that one. So, I took that to heart. I got my boys right, and, we're dominating week by week. We're just actually blowing guys off the line.
What mentality are you taking forward, like bringing into the locker room coming these playoffs? Because I know the 2 guys that were here before you have really high hopes for these playoffs.
Yeah. It's awesome. I'm really excited for the playoffs. We're just going to go week by week, which we've been doing. We've been winning our games in practice, each practice. We're a really good group. My boy Meatball over there, Mattia Andriana, he's number 72 for Groves. He's got to get some offers soon. He's huge, and he's literally 2 years younger than me, and he's dominating guys. I'm surprised he doesn't have any offers. So shout out Meatball.
Shout out Meatball.
Yep.
We got you, dog. Speaking of offers, obviously you've committed verbally to play at the University of Michigan. They have a big game, rivalry game tomorrow. Give us your thoughts on that one.
Yeah, go blue. We gotta take them. we got to win the game. It's going to be a big game for us, and I'm really excited. I'm going. So.
Oh, nice. You're going to be down there on the sideline doing the whole recruit. Is it an official or unofficial?
I already took my official, so
Okay.
it's unofficial. I'm just committed. So.
Nice.
Yeah.
We'll go green.
Go blue.
You can bookmark that one, too, because I'll be watching it for the rest of my life, and so will you.
There we go.
Avery, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in the playoffs. Good luck tomorrow at the game, and continued success through not only this year but next year and beyond in your football career. Appreciate you stopping by, man.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
Of course. Great
Absolutely.
game.
Absolutely. Well, all right. For Ethan Pavey, Gabe Loper, I'm Justin Rose. We'll talk to you soon.